are live.
Excellent. Well, hopefully you could hear me out there.
We're into game 2.
They can't hear you.
We're into game 2, I assume. Overall, I think this matchup probably favors Alex a little bit because it's weird. Alex is like a fair combo deck almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, Will can only shut his things on so many times before he's going to get one to resolve, and once it resolves, if you have enough permanents in play, he's just going to keep going off.
Yeah, there's so many enters the battlefield triggers. It's just insurmountable.
Although if Will can get a Chalice of the Void down, I don't know if Alex has planned on dealing with it or not.
Well, hopefully he's thought ahead and brought in that artifact removal. But
Eugene.
Yep.
We can't see it.
You guys should have said something earlier.
My bad.
I was just
There we go.
being a broadcast professional.
All right,
That's me.
We got Archon in play. That is part of the. Oh, so he's a Monarch now.
Okay. Oh wait. So
Yeah, what's that Monarch card called?
I wonder who put that into play. I'm assuming William.
It's
Yes.
It's off the white Monarch Angel.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't recall what that
and
card's
now
called.
he's so he's making tokens. I think Will has at least a pathway here to kind of take Alex down. He's got some evasion. Alex doesn't really have any pressure in terms of creatures. Oh. Will is confidently playing. Okay, we now have an angel in play.
There's another angel that Alex needs to read. Don't worry, Alex. I have to read all of Will's angels as well. And then as soon as I set him back down, I don't remember what they do.
It looks like he's getting a card back from his graveyard.
Okay.
He's getting a land back.
So this is your enchantment.
Okay. Court of Grace brought the Monarch
Oh.
emblem out.
Okay, so he's generating a 1/1 spirit every turn, and then if he is the Monarch, he instead gets a 4/4 angel. That is going to be a real clock for Alex to have to deal with.
Yeah. So I think is that the Archon out as well?
Yes, Archon is out and attacking.
Okay. So he's prevented from comboing. So the only hope Alex has here is to get rid of that creature and then go off. I don't think I'm pretty sure he's dead next turn. There's at least 11 in the sky and he's at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
So
is Will's other creature.
Sarah Paragon. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, that's a Sarah Paragon. That's a cool card. I can't say I've seen that one before.
Well, it's new. Oh, Alex is seeing he can't get past it, and Will
Yeah. So
is excited to get to game 3.
Yeah, Alex didn't have a way to actually get rid of that creature, even if he did have the combo in hand, and he was on a fairly low permanent count. So
Interesting that Will didn't accelerate into the Archon. He just casually played it on turn 3, and that was enough. That was enough for him to stabilize and get through it.
yeah, that is a big thing. Alex does not have a lot of ways to accelerate the combo. He might have spirit guides, Elvish and Simeon, but if he doesn't draw those, I mean, even if he does draw them, it's not like he's going to combo off with 2 permanents in play. So this really is a turn 3 plus combo deck that Alex is rocking here. So if I guess that gives William just enough time to kind of get his lock pieces out, just hard casting them.
So Eugene, we would call, because he's played this before, this is more of just an Angels deck, mono white Angels.
It's kind of angels with initiative.
Okay.
So he does have initiative somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Oh, we just haven't seen it yet. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we saw the Monarch, and I mean, in a lot of ways, Monarch is operating on the same axis.
Yes. Well, generating, card draw and a 4/4 Angel with Alex not having any way to properly block or trade with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that I didn't think about. Alex has 0, as far as I'm aware, 0 flying in the deck.
Right.
And so William's just going to be able to continue swinging and keeping control of Monarch and initiative.
Well, we saw game 1 a Fury to deal with things and an Omnath. But that's really it.
Yeah, Omnath can deal with with Planeswalkers if those end up showing up. Alex might have Solitude as well. It's tough though. He's got to have just the right combination to be able to deal with these creatures on William's side.
He can't overboard and saturate his combo, but he has to be able to deal with what Will is doing. And it's funny, after game 1, did not think Will was going to be able to prevent any kind of comboing, but after game 2, if he has another start like that, turn 3 Archon, I think he is a little favored with that initiative, with the Monarch backup, like real pressure.
Yeah, for sure. It seems that the tone of the matchup changes a little bit based on who's on the play. So
Very true.
we'll see.
Oh, and there we see it. He has a chalice. He drew it. Slam it down, Will. Slam it down. You want to do it, Will?
He could.
Yeah, he did it.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say technically he could wait because there's no danger of Alex comboing off this turn. But
what's the blue card that Alex has? That's not a force, is it?
it might be a force.
Oh.
It might be a force actually. It's either a force negation or.
Okay. Well, he let it resolve.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about this being a key card for Will. He obviously brought it in. He drew it. He played it. He's happy about it, and now he can kind of hope to just build slowly.
Yeah, that buys him a lot of time. He doesn't even need the Archon in play this time. So we'll see how things go. I see a lot of very fancy looking cards in Will's hand. Very, very shiny.
He does have some nice artwork on his cards. He appreciates them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is the evoke creature you were talking about.
Oh no, this one's just a wave sifter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Wave Sister comes in, dies, but generates 2 plant tokens?
Two clue tokens.
2 clue tokens, okay.
Yeah.
So more permanents that he can then flip when he has his glimpse in play. Or when he can cast it, actually. Okay, ooh, we have a Wasteland.
Wasteland hurts quite a bit here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a double whammy, right? You're getting rid of mana to be able to cast the combo, and it also makes the combo weaker because you're removing permanents.
Yeah. I'm curious. Do you just go for? I think he has a Savannah in play, maybe, or you just wait.
Oh, Will is an Ancient Tomb deck. Okay, I didn't think he was an Ancient Tomb deck, but
was that Ancient Tomb, not Wasteland?
Yeah, I think that's an Ancient Tomb actually.
Okay, so maybe that's how he accelerated game 2. We missed that part.
Yeah. Okay, so the Chalice is probably a main deck thing then. If I had to guess, it's almost like Angel Stompy.
Yeah.
Angel Stompy initiative. Will's got a lot of stuff going on over there. Most certainly. Okay. Yeah, I'm still not sure what that blue card is in Alex's hand. It does look like a force negation, but I assume he would have fired that off on the Chalice if that were the case.
I don't know why he would want to try and fight through it unless he thought something else he had seen game 2 was going to be more problematic to deal with. Maybe the Monarch enchantment.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
Alright. He is just generating some more clue tokens.
Yeah, another wave sifter, so...
I mean, this game is kind of playing out. Looks like he doesn't have a way to deal with the Chalice of the Void, so he's just generating as much as he can to then potentially, when he can deal with the Chalice, try and combo off.
Yeah, 100%. And with no pressure on coming from Will's side at the moment, he's got a couple of turns at least. He could even start technically cracking the clue tokens. It's not something you see too often, but...
Will just passes.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned that Will's not going to put any pressure out here, and Alex is just going to be able to do his thing long enough to find a way. Yeah, he's cracking a clue token. He's really digging for, I assume, Foundation Breaker.
End step? Nothing end step? Okay, so I think Will definitely... Okay, he got another land. Does that do something for him?
Yeah, I assume here he's probably got either a double white 3-drop, or maybe that Monarch enchantment that we saw last time for 4 mana, that we haven't seen quite yet.
I don't want to say his window is closing, but he's gotta start finding pressure before Alex finds answers for that Chalice.
100%, yeah.
Okay, we're passing. Does he have action on the upkeep? What is happening here? A lot of hand gestures there.
There's another copy of that blue card. I still don't know what it is.
I think I can see almost 3 copies.
Yeah, it looks like 3 copies of the same blue card.
Okay, well, he's got blue mana. What is that? We're gonna see him. He's gonna cast it. Maybe this turn. We'll figure out what it is.
Yeah, he's got 4 color. I think he's got 4 color.
Chrome Mox in Will's hand.
Yeah, Will's got a Chrome Mox.
Okay.
He must have drawn it after the Chalice.
Yeah, that's really unlucky in that sequencing, but he's probably happy with that trade-off, getting the Chalice play.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, we got a card count here. Oh, Will. Another Chrome Mox.
If he didn't have action last turn...
Okay, well, he's just discarding hand size. What does he have? Why is he... No, what is...
Yeah, I'm...
Put it to the graveyard, pick back up. Okay, well, does he have 7 cards?
I think it's in response to the end of his turn.
Yeah, okay. So Alex has end of turn action before Will discards a hand size. He is cracking the clue token.
Oh, right. I see, okay.
All right. Well, we'll see if Alex can either get his own pressure. Alex has 4 mana. That's where a lot of his threats come from. Oh, see a brazen bar. He can petty theft, and then he can go off if he wants to.
Absolutely, yeah. It looks like he's gonna lay out Omnath here, and then I assume he's just gonna start casting his stuff, and not even worry because Will hasn't presented a threat yet. So technically, Alex doesn't even need to go off here. He could just use
Omnath is a clock on its own. That's maybe 3-turn clock at most.
Yeah, Omnath's a clock on his own, and he could use that extra mana that he gets from.
Okay. Oh, Will's finally gonna respond. What is he gonna play? He's gonna Solitude.
Evoke.
He's gonna pitch another. That's Sarah Angel, I believe.
Oh, I don't think he's gone that deep.
That's her Angel, but the
Sarah Avenger, the 2-drop, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't play that, honestly.
Well, I think you want to hold up mana in case. Oh, there was.
Oh, it was a force.
It was a force. Okay, so interesting that Alex valued or did not think the Chalice was going to be a threat.
Yeah, that's curious to me. Unless he didn't have the combo in hand, he didn't have a Cascader. Maybe he thought, oh, I'll be able to deal with it eventually. I'm really not sure.
Okay, so now we can see. Yep, I need to read that card too, Alex. Read it for us.
He pointed at the Omnath, so maybe it's some sort of an O-ring creature.
Eugene, do you know what that angel is that Will just played?
That's the same thing, isn't it?
Oh, that is the same. Is that a Sarah Avenger?
That was a Paragon.
Oh, Sarah Paragon. Okay.
Right?
No, it looks like different art.
Well, it is definitely different art, but
Hold on. Might be this.
let's see if I can find the list here.
No.
No, it's not a.
I have no idea what that angel is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's not here, though.
Whatever it was, I think it was going to remove that Omnath, and Alex used his second Force of Will. He even pitched the Brazen Borrower to the Force of Will.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so he's really in on this.
Does he not have another blue card that he could have pitched? Because that Brazen Borrower deals with the Chalice.
Yeah, that's super interesting to me. I wonder what his game plan in here is, because I see a Violent Outburst in his hand. Oh, and a Risen Reef and a Fury. Okay, so he's just absolutely pressing onward with the mid-range Elementals plan. Yeah. Maybe he's sussed out that William is stuck with multiple Chrome Moxes in his hand. That
would be a pretty interesting read there on Alex, seeing that he hasn't seen one. Maybe hasn't seen one.
It's not that far of a stretch though, because William did just pass several turns in a row.
That's totally right.
Yeah.
Look.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, it is Touch of the Spirit Realm. Okay. Yeah, so it's an O-ring effect.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense why Alex was forcing that to get the...
Okay, so one has resolved, which does help Will deal with the threat of whatever Omnath was going to produce. The card draw, the life gain, the damage dealt. But I see a Fury in Alex's hand. Can he cast it? He can cast it.
Yeah, he's got the mana for that.
So he would get back to Omnath.
Yeah. Oh well, no. That's an enchantment. It's like an O-ring.
Oh, it's an enchantment. Okay.
Yeah. It's just straight up an O-ring. It just has a channel ability on it to flicker. I believe is the secondary effect on that.
All right. Well, I mean, Risen Reef is a bit of an engine. He can start generating some resources off of that.
Oh, he did have the Foundation Breaker. Okay. Oh, interesting. So he is gonna get rid of the Chalice.
Yeah.
And then probably go ahead and Violent Outburst. He might even actually hit another Foundation Breaker and get the Omnath back as a result of this.
I mean,
I think it's
7.
I don't remember.
It's 8 permanents he hasn't played right now.
Yeah, I don't remember if he cracked 3 clues or 2.
He only has 1 clue left.
Okay, he only has 1.
Yeah, he had the die to represent multiples, and when they were gone, he just has the 1.
I see. Let's spin the wheel.
Well, we saw him go off with 9. It's going to be tough. We'll see.
Yeah, like I said last time, he can whiff in this situation.
Yeah.
But 6 or 7 is about the threshold where you're usually you're batting 100 usually. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay, it was 8. Got it. Fury.
Oh, double Fury. Well,
double Fury and a Risen Reef. Oh, and a Foundation Breaker.
Okay.
Yeah, so he gets his Omnath back. So that's one,
How
two,
do
three.
those triggers stack now? They all come into play. So does Omnath see everything?
Omnath does not see the lands.
Okay.
Everything came into play simultaneously. So the first trigger that resolved was to kill the O-Ring. He gets the Omnath back, so he doesn't get the land triggers, but he does have 2 fetches in play, so he can get the bonus mana off of the Omnath this turn, if he so chooses. Assuming he has enough fetchables. I mean,
Well, he doesn't even have to go off. I mean, this is a board state that is presenting lethal.
yeah, he's definitely in a winning position here,
Yeah.
as it is.
Life totals are also drastically in his favor, so he has time if he does want to try and go off. I didn't see what he just drew, but his hand is also a little bit larger than what Will's is, giving him more access to things.
Yeah, 100%. He actually missed one draw, unless he just hasn't done. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, because he had 4 Reef triggers and 1 Omnath trigger. Yeah, I mean, I think more Furies in his
Yeah.
hand. He's in a pretty good spot. I think he could just pass here
I think I
personally.
see a force as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Don't know if it's not a blue card, but I mean, with a fetch land and lands, he could trigger that with, or be able to cast it off of a Uro trigger.
100%, yeah.
Is that a glimpse in his hand?
He does have 1 glimpse in his hand, yeah.
I hate to see a draw, but
Yeah, I think he plays 3 of them.
mm-hmm.
He could also discard to hand size, and endurance himself. That's something that you could do in a long game.
Yeah, I don't think based off of this, we're going to see more than another turn or 2 out of Alex.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, had Will been able to find pressure early, he had the resources, but he just seemed to not get enough action. Drawing the Chromox, not what he wanted to draw.
Yeah, if I'm correct, I think he had 3 Touch of the Spirit Realms in his hand,
Mhm.
which is a pretty insane amount of removal. And I guess he was just 1 mana short because of those
No,
Chrome
that is
Moxes.
it. Will
Okay, yeah.
sees that he's not going to be able to outrace that. Well, good showing by Alex's deck. He was patient, it paid off. He knew what he had to deal with the Chalice of the Void. Still interesting. He pitched the Petty Theft, but you know what? He had the other way to deal with it. So
Yeah, I don't know if he already had that Foundation Breaker in his hand at that time, or it's tough to say, but either way, he had enough to break through the locks, and he was kind of doing a good mid range plan to begin with. So
yeah.
that was round 1 in the books.
All right, we have about 8 minutes until our next round is stated to start. So we're gonna see what's happening, and we'll be back.
Yeah, sounds good to me. For sure, yeah.
Tell them we're gonna go to a scene break, or like we're gonna jump to the end of the.
All right, we're gonna take a quick. All right, cool.
What is he?
Welcome to round 2. We got Max playing Death Shadow.
I think Scotty is trying to help Max get the QR code scanned so we can get their information, or vice versa.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Just trying to figure out why they were helping each other hold the phone. Yeah, so interesting enough, Max had a run-in with his cat earlier. So instead of playing his typical deck, he wants to play one that he won't have to, I guess, think about as much.
He had a what now?
You can see on his finger, he's got a band-aid because...
Oh, his cat messed him up?
Yeah, he sent
out, man.
He sent out a tweet earlier. He was mad because he wanted to play a new deck, but he didn't want to have to think as much and shuffle as much.
That's at Max Torsion. At Max Torsion on Twitter. You can go read about his harrowing encounter with the cat.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, he's playing Death Shadow. I don't know if that's blue black or Grixis. I think Legacy's usually blue black. No.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Scotty's playing Alurin, which I think wins with a Sararak now, just infinitely going into Mines of Phandelver. It might still have the Cavern Harpy based win condition. I don't remember if Scotty's playing that.
I have not played against an Alurin deck in years.
Okay, yeah. So this is a deck that you might not see a lot in Legacy. Basically, Alurin is a green enchantment, and it lets you play creatures from your hand CMC 3 or less for free and with flash. And so what ends up happening is, specifically with this new card, Sararak from the D&D set, you put him into play, and
you venture into a dungeon.
Yeah, you venture into the dungeon, and then if it wasn't one of the dungeons, I forget. Yeah, if it wasn't Tomb of Annihilation, if you haven't completed Tomb of Annihilation, you pick him back up, and so Alurin lets you just play him infinitely, and you never go into the Tomb of Annihilation. You go into Mines of Phandelver, and I think one of the modes on Phandelver is like Drain Gain 1,
yeah,
something like that, and so you just win like that by playing a Sararak infinitely with Alurin. But it looks like, was that Scotty on the play?
Yes, Scotty was on the play.
Yeah, Scotty on the play, getting out basics, and Max getting an Underground Sea out. You would normally expect something more like a Watery Grave, but I think Shadow does play one or two occasionally. Dazed is the Baleful Strix. Smart move, if I say so myself.
I'm curious to see at what point Max starts to try and play with his life as a resource. Oh, this is a fun card. What is that? It's a new card. What does it do? Can you see that, Eugene?
I see it.
It made a token of some sort.
It's a blue card.
It's a new card.
It's a blue 3-drop that made a token of some sort.
I know what this card is.
Well, you'll notice a common theme for Alurin is 3-drop creatures with ETB effects. So that's one of them. It's certainly one of them.
Oh, we got a Voidwalker here.
Yeah, Douthie Voidwalker coming out. Gonna prevent things happening with the graveyard, which I don't believe is relevant in this particular matchup, but still could come in handy with using the Voidwalker.
Oh, we got a Snuff Out. Okay.
Oh, there's a Snuff Out. Okay.
Oh, what's happening? We are Fatal Pushing in response. He wants to keep that that creature card in the graveyard. Shouldn't Fatal Push be exiled?
No, Fatal Push is in the yard. Lightning Bolt would be exiled, but Fatal Push is not, because it resolves the creature's destroyed and then it goes to the graveyard.
Okay.
Versus the other way around with Lightning Bolt.
Here's your boy.
There we go.
Ether Channeler. Oh, so he made a burb. Okay. Yeah, this is a sweet card. I didn't realize. I mean, it's versatile enough to see some play in the Alurin deck, I suppose. Yeah, but this is a really nice card. Those 3 different modes offering a lot of versatility. A Ponder being resolved on Scotty's side here. 13 exactly for Max at the moment, so a 0/0 Death Shadow would be its current power and toughness.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Daze play earlier. It's possible that he wants to Daze something else, replay the Watery Grave, or just start playing some other things to drain his own life.
For sure, yeah. I get the feeling that he's probably going to hold on to further counters for the Allurin.
I'm curious. I mean, not that Scotty has given any tells here, and I don't think Max has played against Scotty very often, but at what point do you think you're playing against Allurin? Is it the basic lands, 3-mana creature? I mean, this is...
I think seeing the color combo and the 3-drop BTB effects, it's probably a pretty big hint. And I mean, let's be real. Like, if you're playing against Scotty, this is what he's been playing recently. So, you know, it's a safe bet. We'll say.
Okay, all right. We see the same card. What are we gonna get here? Another bird, a draw effect. I guess we have to see if it resolves. Max
100%.
is thinking if he wants to. Oh, okay. He drew a card. He drew a Learn, I think.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch it, but
Let's see if he gives us a peek.
it looks like an old border green card.
Yeah, sure does. Okay, Max is fetching. Going 11, now he can play a 2/2 Shadow. Start trying to grow that if he wants to.
Wonder if he trades the the bird for the bird. Probably not, right?
No, I mean he wants that life drain. Although,
yeah, I think he's probably pretty okay with taking 1 damage a turn until he's not. You know.
yeah, right. Oh no, okay. Oh, he's fatal pushing the.
Fatal pushes
Yeah.
the Ether Channeler off of the
Nope,
fetch.
he's shadow drawn. Is it time to play the big boy? Well, little boy at this point. Nope, get him for 1. Might as well. Wasteland, not good at this point.
Doesn't do a whole lot in this situation, but
Nope, but we see a full retail Murktide there. It's going to be, I think, a 5/5. No, it's not. It got forced.
yeah, still Scotty's still insulated from days here. I'm not sure if Max has one. No, I see Brazen Borrower, the Shadow. I'm not sure what the 3rd card is. But that was going to be an issue.
Curious why you don't just try and resolve the shadow in this point, depending on what's in his hand. Maybe he has his own brainstorm.
He's holding up Brazen Borrower for the Allurin.
Oh, that's right. He has a wasteland in play. I forgot.
Yeah. It's off to the right. I know 9 times out of 10, Wasteland just goes straight to the graveyard, but in this case, it could make make some mana.
I mean, if he truly wanted to play his own Murktide again, he could wasteland his own.
He
land.
could wasteland his own land. That's true. He could float a mana,
Right.
waste his own land.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, another burb. It's just nothing but burbs from Scotty today, I suppose.
I wonder what he drew. We know he still has the Allurin. Max is in the tank. Does he want to petty theft something?
He sure is thinking about it.
The token possibly, or maybe just a death touch at this point. Okay, he's gonna petty theft.
Probably the token. I wouldn't want.
No, yeah, petty thefting the bird. We'll put it back to hand. That's
He just
seems
draw.
not ideal. Okay, so we're just gonna draw. Okay.
Force drawn. Yeah, I'm still not sure what that card all the way on the right is exactly in his hand.
Not on the
Not on the field in his hand. There's Burb, the one on top of his hand right now. I can't quite make it out.
That's not another snuff out, is it? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Looking through the yard.
It's not a surgical, is it?
Oh, actually, maybe.
I mean,
That would
it's
be
Death
a-
Shadow.
A main board surgical would certainly be aggressive. I mean, Jataxian Probe is banned, right? So you gotta get that life down somehow.
Street Wraith? It's not a Street Wraith. Okay.
Oh, it's freaking Cling. to
Oh,
Dust.
Cling to Dust. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think he. Oh, is he gaining life here? No.
No, he lost life. That's
So it's not a Cling.
not correct, right? He exiled a Brainstorm.
I genuinely can't tell what card it is. It looks like a black
It looks
one
like
drop.
Reanimate.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. It is a reanimate. He got back the Aether Channeler, and then he bounced the bird token.
Okay.
Oh, main deck. Okay, yeah. So this is classic. This is classic Death Shadow. Main deck reanimate
It's this one.
to get rid of.
Okay, we see the learn. Is this going to resolve? If this resolves, Scotty gets put in a pretty good position. Does he have the... No, he only has one card in hand, right? Okay.
Yeah, so,
I mean, that sets him back a lot. One
Yeah.
card in hand, no Lurin, just a bird in play.
and it's possible that last card is a Sararak, and in which case he's completely useless. You get
Right.
to, I think, scry one off of the first room in Fandelver, and that's it. Off of 3 mana, which is not a good trade. But Max is going to go ahead and get his Death Shadow out finally.
Okay, we see another Petty Theft in hand and a land for Max. He does have to be careful with his life as a resource here.
It is getting low.
Oh, did he just top deck a Lurin?
Oh man.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, so it's just Ice Fang though. It's just Ice
yeah,
Fang.
but that. Okay.
It's
oh,
another
is
Ice
he gonna
Fang?
chain? Show me. Oh, I want to see it, Sarek. I want to see it.
Don't do it, Scotty. Okay.
Slow roll it.
He's just passing.
He can play it at whenever he wants. They have flash now.
That's true. Yeah. The
From
just-
nowhere to this board state.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This Death Shadow looks pathetic in the face of all these death touching.
Right. Three 1/1 death touches. I mean, he can just kind of leisurely hold back if he wants to.
Yeah, he's bought himself so much time. That's the whole point of this Allurin deck, really, is to just stall out until you draw the combo, and it does dig for it.
I mean, he
efficiently.
can petty theft the Lurin, right?
Yeah, in response to casting the first
Ooh,
Acererak.
okay, can he petty theft it and then Thoughtseize it?
Ooh, that would be
Thoughtseize
a
is in the
play.
stack. Draw the Thoughtseize.
That would be a play for sure.
Okay. Nope. He's drawing instead. We're gonna have a battle of death touch creatures here, apparently.
Yeah, I've never seen this many Baleful Strixes and Ice Fang Quaddles out on the board at the same time. This is a unique board state.
Okay, so I don't think he took the Thoughtseize that I saw in the stack. Maybe he's gonna hold it up and wait. And I don't know. We just went to trade with the creatures now.
That looks like what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Scotty gets his Ether Channeler back into the yard.
Okay, was that a blue card in Scotty's hand? I thought maybe a force.
It could be. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Max is getting real low here. Is that 5? I don't know how many more flying creatures Scotty would be able to draw. We've seen several go to the graveyard already, but
Yeah, I think as far as 2-drop Death Touchers go, Scotty's got to be running pretty low with how many he chained together. I don't know if he plays the full 8, but it wouldn't surprise me.
okay. We are petty thefting Allurin. And did he? He did. Okay, he did take the Thoughtseize. Oh, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Last card in Scotty's hand is Force.
So it was a
Max
Force we
is Max is
saw.
at 3. He is dangerously close to dying to 1/1s.
Yeah, but he does have the Brazen Borrower that he can flash in to block one of them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I always forget that Brazen Borrower could block. Honestly,
Only block creatures with flying.
yeah. You got to feel bad about putting it in front of a Baleful Strix, but you got to do what you got to do.
Okay, we have.
There's
okay.
Yeah, there's a Acererak, so I assume he's gonna use the scry function, or he might have some technology in one of the other dungeons that I'm unaware of.
Okay, well let's. I mean, can he get to the point where he drains each time he plays it? Because if he can attack. No, he can't attack because then he's just dead to the shadow. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's in a.
I see Max is looking up the dungeons so we can figure out what the options are. It really should be on Scotty to have the dungeon there.
For sure, yeah. I assume it's pretty rare to be in a situation where you're playing a Acererak just to delve into the dungeon for value.
We did see a squire there, and he put us at the bottom. No, he didn't want that card. Probably a land.
Okay, so he is in Fandelver. All right, cool.
All right. Okay, I'm just gonna take one.
Just.
This is a very interesting board state.
It's so delicate. Oh man, because that's a big shadow too. That's lethal.
Yeah.
That's lethal if.
Well, it's a 10. It's a 10/10 right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
I wonder if we just see some draw goes from each. Oh, an endurance.
Ooh, endurance is a pretty hefty boy. The reach really helps a lot here.
Well, not only that, it cuts off an option of a Murktide.
Yeah, that's right. Murktide is taken off of the table as a top deck.
It profitably, well, it doesn't profitably block, but it can block with one of the title. But
it's also a lethal creature. Funny enough.
Oh, you're right. You are right.
It does have 3 power.
Okay. How many Lurin are there in the deck? You think?
I would assume 4.
Okay. We've seen 2 gone through. Now, what do we have here?
Is that a Cavern Harpy?
Does look like a Harpy. Okay, we're gonna bounce and replay to draw.
Yeah.
And what is?
Yeah, Cavern Harpy combos with the Lurin.
Okay, we're flashing in a Brazen Bar. Is that a pond? Okay, we got a Ponder and a day. The days really doesn't do anything at this point.
Yeah, we're a little past days.
Are we shuffling here? Yeah. No, we're not. Okay. Oh, we are. Okay. Those were not good enough.
I forget exactly what Cavern Harpy combos with, but I know it's a combo with Allurin.
It can combo with Uro.
Oh, it combos with Uro. You draw your whole deck that way. Yeah, and I mean, in this situation, it's just a fine card, though, because you get to bounce one of these draw creatures and replay it.
There was also a Drain Strix, like an Ice Strix, that would kill them with...
So here he just blocks and then pays the life to bounce it, which is interesting because he's still taking the damage.
Yeah, and
but now he can recast it.
He can recast it, bounce his Ice Fang, replay the Ice Fang, continue drawing. This is exactly where Allurin wants to be, as far as a drawn out game goes.
Yeah, it does seem really tough for Max to try and navigate through this, knowing that he can just block and bounce and stall for at least 9 more turns.
There's a Wasteland on the first duel that's come out from Scotty this whole game. Just instantly slapped down.
Okay, so he doesn't want to block here. Interesting. He doesn't want the ability to bounce, replay. Maybe he wants to go in the offensive. I mean, 3 life. He's got 4 attackers. He can't really attack all out, though.
Oh, he'll just do it on his turn. He could have saved a life if he did it on his opponent's turn, but maybe he was hoping for a different draw. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so now we're going to see a Daze. Just attacks him and not let him play anything else.
And then another Daze, I believe.
Yeah. Yes, paying for... Oh, he's bouncing it. Okay. Oh, he picked up another Force. Okay. So Max is out of responses, and Scotty gets to keep rebuilding. So painfully, he's going to be able to draw 1 card a turn, but he only has 6 turns to get to something.
Yeah, neither side can really get away with swinging with more than 1 creature at a time here.
Snuff Out. Okay, Snuff Out's going to be huge here.
Oh, hard cast Snuff Out.
Interesting.
Okay.
On the Endurance?
That makes sense to me. It is the only lethal threat on the board.
Okay.
Every other creature has to swing as a team to be able to get through.
Okay.
Block bounce with the Cavern Harpy again, so 2 cards again this turn, unless he drew something spicy here. Another Ice Fang. It's just
drawing the deck. Is he gonna get to an Allurin? I mean, I think at this point, if he does, he just wins.
Yeah, Max is out of gas for sure. The stall is slow. It's slowly slipping out here. I'm not sure there's too many things that Max can draw specifically, but on the other hand,
the deck, taking another damage.
Yeah, on the other hand, Scotty's life is getting dangerously low.
I mean, he can only do this 4 more times before he either wins or doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Passes the turn. Okay, so he can just flash it in, obviously. What does Max do? How does Max win here? Except for just Scotty stalling out.
Yeah, I'm genuinely not sure what Max can do here. I don't think there's any. There's not many things that he could draw that would generate enough card advantage to get him back into this game compared to what Allurin's doing here. So I think we're just kind of bleeding out here. If he just does,
that was a land.
If he does like runner Fatal Push and Scotty doesn't draw anything interesting, then he might be able to get through.
Fatal Push is definitely a play here.
Yeah. 3 mana for Acererak again.
Yep.
Next room in the dungeon. I really don't know what the next room is.
Well, we don't know what dungeon they're in.
Well, they're in Phandelver because he scryed the first time. Is it? It's not anything that's worth a full card. That's all I know. It might be like.
Well, now we're into the 3rd room.
Yeah.
We have Scry, create a treasure token.
Okay, so treasure token was the 2nd room. I think the 3rd room is drain gain 1.
Yes.
Oh, yep, that just happened. Okay.
If he goes again, he'll draw a card.
And then the last room is draw a card. Okay. That makes sense to me. So actually, technically, it's not an infinite combo because you'll deck yourself, so you can't win against infinite life. But I don't think there's many infinite life decks in Legacy. But in this case, I mean, technically, all Scotty has to do is just leave his wall up and just keep looping through this Acererak, and he'll get there eventually. Not exactly what either deck wants to be doing.
You see a hard cast Force of Will. Oh no. There goes the win condition.
Oh, farewell, sir.
Okay.
Bye, sir.
Max was way too happy to just force that.
He threw that bad
He
boy
did
on
not
the table.
hesitate.
Oh, man.
Okay. Scotty continuing to try to thin his deck out. Really, really trying to optimize after drawing half his deck. Trying to get one or more of those Allurans. But now he needs an Aceran too, right? Aceric.
Yeah, with the Cavern Harpy out, he has a lot more options. Oh no, well he's super low on life.
Right. He has exactly 4 activations of the Harpy.
Yeah.
I hope we get to a top deck where he just flips it and it is what he wants it to be. Show me Lightning Bolt. Let's do it.
Yeah. The Lightning Bolt off the treasure token.
Right.
Man.
Max's Utgard, he can't do anything. He really it's in a tough spot. He could block, but he's just gonna. I mean, he could attack, but he would just block and bounce, or whatever he has in his hand. I think he has a land. I don't know what else. He has 3 cards though.
Yeah, Scotty has. We'll put it this way: Scotty has more ways to win this game than Max does.
Yes. Okay, we are hard casting Snuff Out.
Snuff out on hard cast Snuff Out on an Ice Fang Quaddle. You don't get to see it every day, folks. You definitely don't get to see it every day.
Oh man, Eugene, we got to come up with a bingo board for things to happen.
Yeah, right.
I completely forgot that this was a Baleful Strix mirror match. Yeah, I didn't remember that going into this, but now I'm realizing that this is the world that we were living in.
This is the only legal target for Snuff Out, too.
Oh, Baleful Strix is a black creature, so Snuff Out can't even target it.
What's Harpy? Harpy's black-white?
Harpy's black-blue.
Oh, black-blue. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, clearly we overlooked the legality of playing the card.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Abrupt Decay on the Shadow.
I mean, okay,
Man.
and then we're in for
Yeah,
okay. We got there.
Max is out on that note. Man, what a game! Oh my goodness.
Okay, so Allure has a lot.
I feel like Scotty won, but I feel sorry for both of them. You know what I mean?
I mean, that was a 20-minute game.
Yeah.
Game 1, right? If Max picks up game 2 and it's a similar game, this could go to time.
It could definitely go to time. Yeah.
Now the longer games, I think, definitely favor Scotty. So if this draws out, he's.
Yeah, so Max's real way to victory here is to tempo out, slam down either a Shadow or a Murktide, and then just kill him in 2 swings without ever letting him do anything. The problem is Scotty has so many basic lands that Wasteland tempo is not going to be a thing. Days is going to be rough because Scotty plays so many lands. So it's just an uphill battle for Shadow in this matchup, I think.
Is this the match where you board out your Wastelands?
I would highly consider boarding out Wasteland if he had something like Otawara in the sideboard. That would be a good thing. I'm not sure what Shadow is playing these days.
And we did see late game Max draw 2 Wastelands, automatically just waste a land, but that seems like a really bad draw.
Yeah, Wasteland is not something that you want to see because Scotty is 100% going for 3 snow lands right off the bat to get the Ice Fang Quaddles online.
Now, Scotty's game plan seemed pretty solid in terms of dealing with the creatures. Does he want to modify things a lot, or does he just kind of stick with, for the most part, the same 60 cards?
Yeah, I think if he's going to do anything, it's going to be maybe discards like Duresses to get Force of Wills and Dazes out of Max's hand, but I couldn't see much beyond that. I think
I see Leovold.
Oh,
there's still one in the deck. Okay.
Oh, Leovold?
I pulled up some Alluran lists, and they're running Living Wish.
Alluran is running Living Wish. Okay. A creature or a land card. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You could get a Sararak out of the sideboard with that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know this is probably a Nombo in this deck, but would you play Atraxa just to get a bunch of things?
Atraxa?
Well, why not? It's in the colors.
That's like 5 mana, though, right? How much is it?
No, you have to hard cast it.
Unifier, right?
Yeah.
Atraxa Grand Unifier.
Oh, but you need white. There's no white in the deck.
Oh, that's 7 mana? I don't know about that one.
I mean, he almost could have cast it without the Wastelands last game.
He probably could have cast it that past game, yeah.
It does fill up your hand. You get more looks at things. You get to learn if you really need to. I'm not saying it's a good option. I'm just, it's an option.
Well, what would be better is if Max could go ahead and Thoughtseize that and then cast a Reanimate on it. I think that would be a good option for Max.
So clearly, Scotty doesn't want to bring that into
Yeah.
this matchup.
That's actually that's something to think about. Is Scotty has a surprisingly large number of good reanimate targets for Max. I don't know.
True.
I don't know if Max has extra copies in the sideboard, but he might consider bringing those in.
Well, it seemed like early on he did it just to get something in play. If he waits, he gets a little bit more paid off because there's more things in the graveyard. We'll just see. I think an aggressive start for Max is beneficial, which I don't think I see in his hand. And Scotty's just going to play draw go for a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. So Max on the play. Shadow is a deck of 1,000,000 1-drops, so turn 1 is pretty important for them. We'll see what he ends up playing. Oh, Scotty's actually going to 6, I suppose.
Also, Max very happy to just play a land, pass, try and daze whatever you're going to try and cast in turn 1.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Fool around with a little end-step brainstorm. Probably not. I don't think that's a Max play, but, you know. I don't see Max doing a lot of end-step brainstorms.
It's my favorite play.
Oh man, that's the the modern player in my heart after learning to fetch on end step for 7 years.
There's nothing worse than brainstorming on end step just because, and then locking yourself into 2 bad draws.
Oh man. All right, turn 1 ponder. We see Fatal Push and a couple of extra cards. Scotty ponders as well.
Scotty eager to play that ponder.
Very true. I think they're conscious of the time.
Very fair. Yeah.
Yeah, because if Scotty wants to, Scotty wants
all
to
right.
win.
We see him to Turok here. This could be good if we do have a reanimate in hand. We get something spicy here.
Ooh man.
Okay.
1 through 6, 1 through 5.
Perfect. Let's see.
Prismatic Vista and an
Okay.
Ether Channeler. So Ether Channeler was the reanimate target last game. All it really did was bounce a bird token, but it could draw a card as well.
See, Scotty. Oh, just gonna fetch and go. Interesting. I mean, he could flash it a Quaddle end step if he wants to, which is probably based off the lens what he'll end up doing.
That seems like a safe assumption, yeah. In fact, there he is.
Oh
yeah.
nope, he's just doing it. Okay, I thought he was passing. Now, in these matchups, I mean, traditionally in some of these games, you don't really want access to counter spells. You think?
And favor discard, but it's tough for me to say.
We see there that the Quaddle and the die represents its exile off the Voidwalker because you could sacrifice Voidwalker to cast it.
That's right. Yeah. So that's a what do they call that? A void counter.
Yeah. Okay, we see the battle of the 1/1 death touches starting. Scotty in the lead.
Yeah, I think it's tough to beat that game when I could only assume Scotty's got all 8 in there.
Yeah, but I mean, Dathia's shadow can be blocked.
That's true. Yeah, actually, I would be surprised to see Max sacrificing this Voidwalker, instead favoring swinging with it, just as an unblockable clock. Because Murktide in this matchup doesn't seem too hot, if I'm being honest.
Attacking into a 1/1 death touch, really not the play.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna endurance.
Oh, endurance.
Does this resolve? Okay, he can pay for the days, even though Max has it. But maybe Max bounced. Nope. Okay. Thought maybe he bounces to play with his life total, but not interested in doing that. Got to preserve it in the face of that 1/1 death touch.
There's actually a chance that Max might have even taken out his Murktides. Maybe he doesn't care about his graveyard as much this time around.
Yeah, seeing the endurance, knowing that that's an option. If he has a better option in the sideboard.
It's tough to say without knowing his sideboard, yeah. Oh, the Strix dies.
Oh wow. Okay, we see a Plague Engineer.
What is Strix just a bird, or does it have another type? I don't remember. It's not a Phyrexian bird, is it? No, I don't think so.
They did Phyrexian dirty. They
That's-
did not need to do that.
Is it a bird horror? No.
As an infect lover,
It is just
as
a
soon
bird.
as they retroactively made all things infect Phyrexian, that was just
That was a sad day.
something that did not need to be done.
Oh, okay, so interesting. Actually, naming bird here also hits the bird token that comes from the Ether Channeler, I believe.
Okay. And we see that Max is edging a little bit. I mean, resources still, I think, in Scotty's favor, but
Yeah, if he could protect the queen with this Voidwalker, he might have a pretty good shot here.
I mean, Scotty could from nowhere just throw in or lower down though, and then things get real interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of the crux of this particular game, I think. Is the allure in itself, because I don't think Scotty's gonna have too much success racing.
We haven't seen a shadow from Max yet. Does he keep those in?
Both,
He just drew one, I think.
Okay, yeah, I was like, if you're gonna keep one in between Murktide and Shadow, it's probably Shadow.
Dress down. Okay, that was a dress down.
Oh, dress down. That's probably main deck as well, to synergize with the Shadow, turning it into a 13/13.
Yeah. What are we reanimating here? What are we getting?
Probably.
The Plague Engineer.
Oh, he got back his Plague Engineer.
Named
Okay.
Snake.
Named Snake on it to get rid of
what
both.
killed? What, I missed that. What killed? Did he attack with the Plague Engineer?
I actually don't know.
I missed that step.
He traded the endurance for it.
Oh, he blocked the endurance. Okay, yeah, because that makes sense. It was naming bird, so it kind of lived its life already, and he gets it back.
I mean, he's cleared the way.
Yeah,
And Scotty has three cards in hand, but all the mana to cast whatever's in his hand. So we'll see what happens here.
I think this is just death, right? unless he's got something.
I mean, he can clearly cast Quaddle and then kind of chain things, make Quaddle.
He can't cast the Quaddle because of the engineer. Well, he can to draw a card, but it would just die instantly.
Okay, so he could cast. I don't know what he could cast. He's got endurance.
Endurance will, I guess, trade with the engineer.
He does he have to block the? We have a 5/5 Death Shadow. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I guess he could trade with the engineer, and then he goes to 2.
Yeah,
unless does Max have a way to lower his life total.
I think he saw a snuff out off of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think that's just game.
Yeah, if he can snuff out the endurance, that is it. We'll go to game 3.
For sure, yeah. So this was pretty much what we were talking about. Just getting a foothold in.
Well, I mean, Scotty has 2 cards. Maybe one. Does he have 2? Yeah, maybe it's a force.
It could be a counterspell, and he could live at 2. But I don't know what he could draw to get the both the Shadow and the Voidwalker off of the field for next time.
Out. He wants to respond. What is he? Nope, he's not gonna respond. So he's just dead. Nope. He's okay. He has a abrupt decay.
Abrupt decay for the
abrupt
Shadow.
decay helps. Nice. That saves him 5. So now he takes 5, goes to 4. Okay.
Yeah, he's at 4, so he's dead next turn.
Yeah, I mean he's just dead. One card's not gonna do it. I don't think it's a single card draw.
Unless it's something like
well, it could be an abrupt decay.
he could do Baleful Strix into abrupt decay or a different removal spell, and that would clear the board back out.
He does have lots of ways to rebuy things, or he could make a bird token.
There's Ether Channeler. He could bounce the Voidwalker and buy himself a little bit of time. Yeah, that's what he does.
And what is Plague Engineer? It is a.
I think it's a 2/2, but 2/2 with that touch.
So yeah, so now you can trade with the Plague Engineer if you're interested in doing that.
Yeah, I think he's not doing too bad. He's clawing his way back in, but at these low scrappy life totals and with this kind of empty board, I think Shadow is still a little bit in the lead, but we'll see. Oh yeah, Fatal Push.
Yeah.
Fatal Push takes him down to 2, plays back the Voidwalker, and
nope.
Yeah, Scotty does not draw what he needs.
Okay, so we saw that Scotty kept the forces in.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't expecting that necessarily from Scotty, but man, I didn't even think about Plague Engineer. That really does a number in this matchup.
We didn't see the Murktide, so maybe it's safe to say that those came out.
Yeah.
And the Plague Engineers came in.
For sure, yeah. I'm not sure what else was necessarily a sideboard card that Max played this time. Maybe extra copies of Reanimate that play getting back the Plague Engineer to clear the way from 2 of those snakes was pretty excellent.
It's interesting too because you saw game 1 just a wall of blockers, and how quickly that changed with one Plague Engineer.
Absolutely.
Now I'm curious too if that changes Scotty's play because he blocked the Plague Engineer, or he got his endurance blocked, but then Reanimate allowed Max to replay it to clear the board again. So does Scotty then have to play around that in game 3 and just take damage versus trading.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough deciding between like killing it or bouncing it, because either way, there's a chance for Max to reset it and name something useful with it again. And you can't really just leave it in play and not block it either, because that's 2 damage every turn.
I mean, I guess he could in response endurance if he had that ability, but
oh, that's true. Yeah,
there's a lot of things that have to go right for that. All right, so I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who gets game 3?
Oh man, so Allurin on the play, it's gonna tilt ever so slightly back towards him. I think it depends on how much sideboard action Max is able to find, and if Scotty's able to keep him off threats. I think it's gonna be a real close one though. It's hard for me to call.
No, you have to pick one.
I have to pick one?
You have to pick one.
Oh man, Scotty always wins blue mirrors.
Okay.
I've never beat Scotty before.
Just for the show, I'd love to see an Allurin resolve, and then we can see the combo go off. But we see Thoughtseize leading off to reveal. Okay, we see that Leovold. I'm curious. Okay, now he can reanimate something eventually, so I'm curious if he chooses that as a target versus choosing whatever helps. Strix is a target. Okay. I mean, he can't cast the endurance at the moment. The Strix will come out.
Yeah, it's his Cavern Harpy is going to be less useful without the Strix, and then those 3 drops are easier to daze, or even remove, profitably. Although Leovold is a little bit nasty, because if you fatal push him or whatever, he will replace himself with another card.
Right.
But it looks like Max is taking air superiority here.
He has the first 1/1 death touch.
That's right.
He is in the lead.
He's
Did not work out for Scotty last time, but maybe Scotty wouldn't bring in Plague Engineer on his own. You think?
Oh, that's no. I think
even if it is a sideboard option.
It is a 3-drop with a good effect, so I wouldn't put it past him. Allurin is all about those 3 drops with good effects.
Okay. All right. Oh.
Naturally. Never not draw him. I see Force Ponder.
Oh my gosh, all the blue cards.
Yeah, just Brainstorm, Ponder, Force.
We're going to get rid of some of those bad cards and hopefully get... Oh, I see Hymn to Turok.
Yeah,
that could be helpful.
Hymn to Turok and a Watery Grave. Is that Engineered Explosives?
I just saw that. Interesting. I mean, it takes care of the 2 drops, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he could cast it for 2. That's as high as it goes in this deck, and it does clear all that out of the way.
Yeah. I think we can see the Hymn, yeah. Okay.
There's the Hymn.
Does it resolve? I mean, he's got his 1 card in hand, so I think it has to. I guess the only thing he could have done in response was maybe Endurance, but it seems like not ideal in this situation.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, we're drawing 6s, okay.
5.
Yeah, all right.
5 and 1.
We get rid of a land, pretty important, I think, in terms of casting that Allurin, and then we see the
Ether Channeler,
Ether Channeler, right.
Okay, so he's still got... Leovold, Endurance, Cavern Harpy, so all the cards that we know about already, or that Max knows about rather. Well, he does have a little bit of that engine going now with the Cavern Harpy, which he can cast, but he's not going to be able to immediately replay the Strix because of his mana.
Well, he could draw a land. No, he's right because he has a basic forest.
Yeah, he could cast the he could also cast the Leovold here, but he probably doesn't want to run into a potential daze.
Interesting. He just picks it up and not blocks and picks it up.
Well,
I mean,
the Cavern Harpy doesn't have flash.
The ability.
The ability.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, he could pick up the Cavern Harpy, but the ETB is the pick up another.
So when he casts it, he has to pick it up. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, without Allurin, it's a little less tricksy, but still pretty good. Resolving a Ponder here on Max's side.
We see them trying to play quickly, noticing that they have just about 12 minutes left in the round.
Yeah, it's certainly coming down to the wire here.
Max is still considering keeping that Engineered Explosives. It's the 3rd card in the stack, so... what's he casting? Voidwalker? Okay. Now that gives him a way to attack through all the blockers.
He's got Force with I assume a blue card. I didn't exactly see, but
I think I saw 2 forces.
Okay.
Okay. Might as well get him for 1. Why not? Okay, a Ponder.
Ponder. Scotty probably looking for a land here, honestly. a tropical island would help him out a lot in this situation. That would go down real smooth.
Okay, Fatal Push the Voidwalker. Seems like a good play in this position.
Yeah, that's going to keep any potential clock off the board for sure.
I think we see this game going similar to game 1, where it's kind of a slow, grindy game. I'm curious who's going to get the advantage. See the players working something out.
I'm probably talking about whether Fatal Push gets exiled or not.
Yeah, true. Okay. Does he keep the... No. He still wants the Engineering Explosive. Okay.
Him is honestly his way out of this matchup. Just two for one-ing over and over again.
I mean, that's what, the second him this game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Drawing 6s. Max is good at 6. Come on, Max.
You can do it. You can do it.
Again at 6. He just went for the last card.
Yeah, it was
Scotty helping him out.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
There's
all right.
a one.
We have a 1-1 big boy.
Oh man, trades just as nicely with the Baleful Strix, although I'm not sure he wants to do that.
Well, he's got force. He can force something to make it a 2/2. It's still not okay. He is forcing the Strix.
Yeah. Honestly, the menace.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. Get him out of here.
Well, and now we've got a 2/2. He can attack into the Harpy.
Yeah.
We see a dress down drawn. There's a petty theft as well.
Yeah, and I think that I believe the last card on top of his library is still that Engineered Explosives, unless he shuffled.
Interesting. If he gets to a state where it's relevant, he can destroy all 2/2s, and then he just has a shadow against whatever 3-drop Scotty have, and maybe at that point the shadow's just big enough.
Yeah, exactly. Because all of his Death Touchers are 2/2s. He's going to have a lot of trouble getting rid of that Cavern Harpy, though, because the Cavern Harpy could just bounce itself, but it doesn't have Death Touch, so...
True.
It can, however, do the block bounce thing over and over again against a shadow.
At this point, I don't know. Is Leopold good enough?
It
gets a redraw unless we just petty theft it right now, or maybe, because he pissed the force. Okay, so he can petty theft it if he wants to.
Yeah, it's tough to say here. Okay,
is that
so
another petty theft in his hand?
No.
He's casting Dress Down.
It's a Dress Down, yeah. So it looks like this is going to be an end-step Dress Down to turn off Leovold's ability and the Cavern Harpy ability, and then he's going to Brazen Borrower the Leovold, or maybe the Cavern Harpy? Yeah, he's going to Brazen Borrower the Cavern Harpy.
Mm-hmm.
Back to hand. He has a 13/13 Shadow.
Right, now he's forced to block with the Leovold.
He has to block with Leovold. Well, he doesn't have to. He could go to 2, potentially. Yeah, he is going to block. He'll take 1 from the Strix, and then Thoughtseize, get rid of the Cavern Harpy, or I would probably get rid of the Cavern Harpy. Oh no, he gets rid of the Channeler.
Well, yeah, that would bounce a shadow.
That's true. Yeah.
Also, he still has the Brazen Borrower that he can flash in to get another flying threat. Looks like Scotty trying to rebuild a little bit.
Yeah, where did that Brazen Borrower go? Should be an adventure, right?
Yeah.
Maybe put it off to the side.
I mean, cast it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It was next to life totals there.
I was looking for it up top.
Okay. And that should be.
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
okay.
8. In for 8. Pretty respectable.
I mean, he now is presenting lethal. Scotty needs to draw. I don't even know.
So. Yeah, I was trying to formulate it in my head. I'm like, he could Ice Fang Quaddle into Allurin, into Cavern Harpy, but no, he would need a little bit more mana to do all that nonsense.
I mean, he needs at least 2 block. Well, he needs a blocker for the shadow.
He needs a blocker for the shadow, and he would go to 1 life.
Okay. Now he needs 2 blockers.
Yeah.
Does he have Allurin?
He might have Allurin, but I don't know how much it does here. Because I think he just has the Harpy as a creature.
Oh, you're right.
Unless the Brainstorm fixed something for him.
That's true. So we don't know what 2 cards he actually does have.
Harpy Strix would get him out of this, right?
Harpy Strix would allow him to...
Well, Harpy needs to...
Okay, yeah, so he will bounce the shadow. Seems like he has to do that. No, he can bounce the Strix, maybe? What do you have to bounce the Strix here?
Yeah.
No, he just made a token.
Oh, he made a bird token, of course. Yeah, because that could block the Brazen Borrower.
Of course, there are 3 modes to this thing. We gotta remember all of them. Oh, okay.
Engineered explosives on 0, blow up the bird, kill,
He's dead.
and that's game.
That is game.
Man,
Well navigated.
that was a noodly. There was a lot going on in that last game. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Max was just able to get in there, keep Scotty off of gaining too much of a board.
It seemed like every time Scotty would start to stabilize, Max would have an answer.
Exactly.
Or pressure to force Scotty into an action that he wasn't really wanting to make.
Yeah, and all these small things that Max was able to do to eke out some value. You know, the two for ones off of the the dress down replacing itself, the 2 for ones off of the him to Turex.
Yeah, him to Turex were huge.
And just squeezing every last little bit of tempo out to get in for Xaxes on the last turn. Pretty impressive game.
All right, well, that'll do it for round 2. We'll be back in about 6 minutes for our next round.
See you then. All right, welcome back. Round 3, Tuesday Night Legacy. We got Jesse on Death's Shadow, similar deck to last round, and then Max on Mardu Reanimator.
Now, we were just talking about it would be interesting to see which deck is going to reanimate first.
Yeah, it's always going to be the same graveyard, but who's going to get there, you know? If you're doing if you're searching out a creature, putting it in your yard and passing, you might be in a bad spot because Death Shadow's usually on at least one or two reanimates main deck.
Can't we see Max reanimate a Murktide off of Jesse's graveyard? That would be fun.
Ooh, I don't know if that's where you want to be exactly, but
I mean that would set back the Death Shadow player a little bit, but just for flavor. We see Max is definitely mulliganing. Didn't have the pregame effects he probably wanted. I don't know. I feel like every time I play against a Reanimator player, they always have pregame effects, and I always don't like them.
they're always up to something.
Yeah, you don't want my first battle resolve? Well, shame on you.
Those shifty Reanimators, you know, necromancers. You can't trust them.
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
I see what you did. That's a reference to my D&D character. I am a necromancer. That is fine.
You know, they're shifty characters. What can you
have
say?
a bag of children's bones. Don't ask me why.
So we got.
We see a grief. Okay.
Yeah. So there's going to be some sort of. Okay, so if it's Mardu Reanimator in the sense that Mardu Scam or whatever it's Red Black Scam in Modern, he might have some of those 1-mana reanimate, you know, double grief kind of effects happening here. But
so what? It's grief, and then what's the ephemerate black spell?
It's oh shoot, I forget the name of it, but it basically brings it back with a counter on it.
Right.
If it dies,
so you get the grief twice, and you get to keep the grief.
You get to keep a bigger grief.
For the cost of 3 black cards. Oh, okay. We can see exactly what we have here.
Oh my god, what's going on?
He has a hand. And, okay, so now I really want to see Jesse reanimate something from Max's graveyard.
Malakir Rebirth is one of them. Let's see here. So, Faithless Looting.
Okay, so what do you take here? Do you take the looting because that puts things in the graveyard?
I think, yeah, that looks like the biggest enabler. Although, what's that card on the bottom? Is that just straight up reanimate?
Entomb. It's definitely Entomb.
Oh, Entomb, okay. Yeah, honestly, either looting or Entomb would be the take here.
All right, so I always have this internal dialogue of what do I counter? Do I counter the Entomb effect or the reanimate? And it's always the reanimate effect, right? Because there's more ways to Entomb than to reanimate.
In general, I think that's the case, especially here for Death Shadow because it does run reanimate itself, so you could have some opportunities.
I'm a little surprised by the grief, but I don't know what it is in his hand. Obviously, he values his hand.
He must have multiple counters or something similar.
Oh, possible. Okay.
It's tough to say. Here comes looting.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to daze the looting. No, but he could just pay for the daze if he truly wanted to, at sacrificing the petal.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna. Max is gonna pick his hand up, I guess, and put 2 cards down in the graveyard. See if he's able to find a reanimate spell. I mean, he does have to feel the game out and fight through what could be some counter spells, daze, or force of will.
Yeah, the Death Shadow, I think, in general, is pretty good at dealing with combo decks. You're able to put out a lot of pressure pretty quickly, and you have all the Delver staples like Force and Daze.
Yeah.
And you even have a little bit of extra in the form of targeted discard, which Delver lacks. So you get to play with a lot more information.
Okay.
So he's discarded
Grizzlebrand and another Lotus Petal.
Grizzlebrand and a second Petal.
And
He still has his Entomb.
that's a nice play by Max, just to keep the card revealed that Jesse already knew about.
It is indeed appreciated, although not necessary. Let's see here.
What is our CMC cost of our reanimate spells? Are they 1, 2?
This is.
Oh, we can see he has one actually.
Oh yeah, he's.
No, what is that?
Is that shallow? That's not a shallow grave effect, is it?
What are we looking at?
That far left card.
It's Exhume.
Exhume. It is. Okay, and that's 2 mana.
So it is indeed a shallow grave effect. Okay.
Now I was curious. I didn't see in our last match Max playing Minor Misstep, but if that would be a spell that Death Shadow would play or not.
I think Minor Misstep is an excellent card that people are not playing enough of. I assume Shadow would want to play some number of it, maybe in the sideboard, but apparently this Mardu deck is running the 2-mana effects.
Another Thought Seize. Okay, so now, and then he is griefing. Okay.
So we see Daze, Murktide, Doughty Voidwalker.
Yeah, he was building towards that Murktide. Voidwalker's going to do some stuff here. But we see a Snuff Out, and is that... I wonder what that's going to...
That's not going to
role that's going to have in this game.
That's not going to do anything. Grizzlebrand is a black creature, unfortunately. So, Snuff Out's not able to target Grizzlebrand. He might have other reanimate targets that aren't black, but...
I could see match 2. Maybe if he has a Chancellor that he brings in for pregame effects.
Oh, yeah.
Or something else that might be a better card to have in the second game. But, yeah, it's going to be tough to do that. He might be able to Brainstorm away later if he wanted to.
Yeah, that's a blank piece of cardboard for Brainstorm to shuffle away, as far as I could tell. Voidwalker will certainly help, though. Is that fancy space watery grave?
Okay, so for Voidwalker, if Max discards his own card, that card is exiled?
No, it's only opponents. If anytime a card would go to the graveyard.
So Jesse's Voidwalker essentially shuts off any future discards from Max here.
Yeah, it's basically like a ley line in the void.
Right.
Which is obviously a pretty nice thing to have in this matchup.
Now, I mean, Max is playing with perfect. Well, I guess not. Now we have a draw.
It is the fancy space watery grave. Ooh, I love those. I love those lands. They're so good.
Those lands are nice.
Ooh, and the player rewards Ponder there. Man, a man of excellent taste, I gotta say. But let's see what he gets off of this Ponder here. He's in an okay spot so far, I would say, personally.
I mean, in the board state, yes. His hand seems pretty bad, though, depending on what Max tries to do. I mean, he can't snuff out anything. Days could probably get paid for. So he needs to draw action or some kind of support.
Yeah, he does have 2 blank cards in his hand currently, but
I mean the only thing that Days really does is it can help him pick up a Watery Grave to then lower his life total, because Max is definitely not going to do that to him. He's just going to try and kill him in one shot.
Yeah, it's all or nothing for Reanimator for sure. But he does have to get rid of that Voidwalker before.
Okay, so he's going to shuffle. He didn't like any of those cards. Clearly they weren't Death Shadow or Murktide.
True. Is that Exhume exiled with Voidwalker? I think it is, right?
No. That was him pitching the Entomb to Grief.
He pitched it for Grief. Yeah. I see. Okay. That makes sense then.
Okay, we are casting a Brainstorm here, digging real deep. Maybe getting rid of some bad cards here. I see he's still keeping the Days. I guess that could play down the line. See, he still has the Snuff Out? No. Yes. No, he's putting it back. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
No, with no shuffle effect that I see, he's locked in drawing those cards that he put back. So.
Yeah, he is locked out unless that's a land on the right. I can't really tell. Yeah, actually, that looks like a Scalding Tarn in his hand.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so he could get rid of it.
So he can keep those cards or fetch them away if he doesn't want to.
Yep.
And we see a... What's that?
Who is that? Is that a shadow?
No.
I'll go take a look.
That is not... I mean, there's only one artwork for Shadow, right?
Oh, I don't actually know. Is there any other black 1-drops that Shadow would be playing? Is it... It's not like that ninja thing, is it? I don't think so.
Eugene is spotting for us right now, trying to figure out what that card actually is. So we'll get that updated for you. And while that's happening, I'm going to see if I can pull up a Shadow list and see if we can find some spice that might be played.
Maybe it's even like a sideboard card or something?
Well, this is game 1, so I hope not.
Oh, yeah, it is game 1.
Secret Lair, Death Shadow.
Oh,
it
Secret
Lair. Oh, here I am saying there's no alternate art, and then Eugene tells me I'm completely wrong.
I didn't know that there was alt-art Shadows, too. I thought it was just the boy... stretching his arms out or whatever.
Okay. Well, look, I'm going to be honest. I think the original art is better.
You haven't even seen it yet.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, you have it on your phone.
So here's one. Here's the other one.
This is the one.
Okay, we got it pulled up. We're covering
Yeah, let's get that on
go.
screen. Oh my God, you're saying you like the original better than that? Come on, look at that. That's beautiful. Look at... Oh my God, that's like a Renaissance painting, Jamie.
Look, I got mine signed by the artist and their shadow art, and they're awesome.
Okay,
So,
I respect that.
I'm partial to that. And I've missed all the action happening. I don't know what's happening anymore. We've got some lands. I was looking
we're
up.
We're having a heated discussion about art, Jamie.
I mean, the true value of the game is its cosmetics. We can see. Okay, I think that's gonna go. It's gonna go to Jesse here.
Yeah.
Max
Jesse.
really unfortunate. It looks like he just drew a bunch of land after Jesse took his hand apart.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, as soon as that Shadow Voidwalker came down, it was Jesse's game to lose. We'll say, like he had to really do something goofy to not have that one locked down.
I do feel, in most of the games that I played against Reanimator, is they really are committed to going in early, and then the long game doesn't really seem to benefit them.
Absolutely not. Yeah, if they don't do something on the first 3 turns with their initial hand, it's really hard to draw back into something. And Shadow is one of the best decks for turning 1 or 2 cards in hand into a lot of damage on the board. Right. So this is, I'm just gonna say it, extremely favored for Death Shadow in my opinion. We'll see how things go post board though. I don't know if maybe Reanimator has a lot of technology in their board for this matchup, and maybe Death Shadow doesn't, but we'll see how it goes.
I would imagine that they have to be, they being Max, resilient in some sense to hand disruption and fighting through counter spells. Like I mentioned before, maybe a Chancellor coming in to protect against whatever the first spell is. Looking at his sideboard, he has some snuff outs. I don't think he wants to bring those in.
No, I saw Wear Tear as well. That doesn't do anything against the Voidwalker.
Yeah. Seems like he's more base for some of the mono white decks or the artifact decks that we see floating around.
Yeah, I mean, Reanimator is a popular deck, but I don't think that Voidwalker is a popular form of hate against them, so I don't know how prepared they are for that.
It's very true. A turn 2 Voidwalker just does a whole lot in this matchup.
Yeah, and I'm just not sure what kind of removal he has.
It says, no, you can't play Magic today. I'm sorry.
The best part is, you chain a Thoughtseize off of that bad boy, and you get your own Grizzle Breeze off of that.
Okay, let's live the dream here. So, not only do you do that, but then you chain it with a Hymn to Turak.
Oh, brutal.
The thing from Douthie, not that he would.
You have to sack it.
You do have to tap sack the Douthie,
and you only get 1 card that you've exiled.
Yeah, you only get to cast 1 card that an opponent owns in exile with a void counter on it.
Without paying its mana cost. That is the huge part there.
The absolute best case scenario is you get to play against Rob's Nick Fit, and you snipe his Emrakul, and then you get the extra turn, and you just get a fully full retail Emrakul.
In that instance, because I'm small-minded, the Emrakul doesn't see the graveyard. It just, it wouldn't get shuffled in once it sees the graveyard, but it just doesn't because it's exiled. Yeah,
so this one's a replacement effect. If it would be put into the yard from anywhere, exile it instead. So the instead means that it doesn't go to the graveyard at all. It just goes straight into exile with a void counter on it, so you don't get the shuffle trigger.
Is Jesse putting his sideboard face up there? I'm just curious. That's what that looks like.
Yeah, I think so. Is that a dress down up there?
Revealing his top card of his sideboard, but that's fine.
It's hidden behind the box. Max can't see it.
Oh, you're right. Okay, you're right. I forgot we got that bird's eye view.
We got the special privilege of the directly overhead.
Eugene, should we go issue both of them a warning though for covering up the spell hold playmat with their own mats?
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad for branding. We need to. Well, no, you can still see the little steeple.
Yeah, but we know what it is.
We all know what it is.
The people at home need to know what it is.
Yeah.
That's Jesse's YouTube channel, Spike Plays.
Oh, he's gonna self-plug here. All right, well, we're gonna plug Jesse here.
YouTube Spike Plays. See some sick shadow action. I assume.
Go give him a follow as soon as you follow Spellhold.
Also follow at Max Torsion.
Tuesday Night Legacy. Tuesday Night Legacy.
Join all 8 Discords.
You know what, though? There are some useful pieces of information gathered from those Discords.
It's true.
And then some not so useful pieces, but that's okay.
The internet goes either way. What can you say? Oh,
all right.
Man.
Jesse looks to be happy with his hand. I think Max is looking for a specific starting combination, maybe a Chancellor, maybe just enough resilience to fight through some card disruption.
Yeah, he's on the play this game, so the Grief Scam could also be a pretty good opener. if Jesse's relying on a one Void Walker, maybe one counterspell in his hand, a Grief Scam could get there.
I see a pedal. He said no.
He
That was
said
not
no.
good enough.
Oh, Matt, that's a mistake, Max. You never check the top card. You never do it. You don't want to know.
All right. I'm actually very curious. Anybody following the stream, do you or do you not look at the top card? I don't, but do you?
Yeah, I never.
Eric doesn't.
I never do.
But it could confirm that you made the right decision. At the same time, it could tell you the decision was completely awful. But it doesn't matter anyways because it wasn't gonna work out. Oh, so I heard a while ago. Does Reanimator now play Atraxa as a sideboard card for a reason? I heard Rob talking about this.
I'm not really familiar with the newer Reanimator lists. I'm just gonna read this card real quick. I mean, it's a big boy. I mean, that's a lot of keywords. That's a lot of stats, and you could refill your hand off of it. So, I mean, Pithing Needle doesn't stop it. I don't know if that's a reason. Maybe there's a lot of Pithing Needle running around, naming Grizzlebrand. That's all I could really think of.
It was something about either the mirror match or a specific matchup where you wanted to have it for a reason, but you don't want to draw it or something, or maybe you want to have it as a card you can get from exile.
There's an attraction in a lot of these lists.
Right, but I'm trying to remember the reasoning as to why there was a matchup that it was meant for. All right, we see a Faithless Looting. It's gonna get promptly exiled. Oh, no flashback for you, Max. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Force of Negation particularly good against that.
That does
turn
take
one
2 cards from Jesse though, so now he's down some resources.
Yeah, pitching a daze is a pretty sad spot to be in.
Oh no.
Oh, but I'm just realizing
Max
that
has 2 cards.
Yeah.
He was all in, so one of those is. Oh man.
Yeah, Max really dumped all of his resources out. So this is, I mean, yeah, Shadow's looking pretty chill here.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have anything as a threat, so Max still has some time to find another way to get something and discard something and reanimate it. I haven't seen any creatures from Jesse in his hand, so it's possible Max still has a couple turns to get something going.
Yeah, I see. What is that? Ponder.
Yeah. I mean, Jesse could also just be building up to a really big Murktide, and if he resolves a Murktide, I think that's probably going to be a real quick game.
For sure, yeah. Although Mardu probably has a slightly easier time. Maybe there's a snuff out involved somewhere.
We saw snuff outs on the sideboard. I don't think he brought them in.
Yeah, I mean, because the real important creature to get rid of was obviously the Voidwalker, but I mean, in this situation, getting rid of any threat is really going to be the game plan. And then hopefully, draw a runner combo piece. It's a tough world out here.
Right.
Two cards on turn 2 for Reanimator.
Okay. We have a end step draw. What is he doing? He's fetching. Maybe no, he's not. He's just passing. Okay. And Max says go.
Drago, instantaneously.
Well, he knows what he needs, and that wasn't it.
He's checking his text. He's. Oh no. Oh man, my guy.
Well.
Oh no.
He knows what he needs. He doesn't have it. Jesse is figuring out the best line to put some pressure. Again, Max has no reason to think he's out of the game. Jesse has no pressure.
Yeah, it's
we have a wasteland. All right. Well, we can't wasteland the swamp. So
yep, that's true.
That's just gonna sit there.
Oh, maybe he wastelands his fetch and fetches in response so he can get his Murktide out.
Yeah. Wow, you called it.
I think that's exact. Oh no, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
That's what he's doing.
Let's go, dude! I called it.
So we're gonna. Looks like we might be. And Max is just looking at all right, man. I guess you got me.
Oh, he's like, yeah, that's cute, man.
Okay, all right, but hold on. Max has a swamp, right?
Yeah.
If Jesse's all in on this Murktide and he has a snuff out, then we reset essentially.
That could be pretty rough. 100%. Oh man. Now the funniest part about this whole thing was that he could have just tapped the wasteland for mana and it would have been the same thing, but that was a lot more.
That was
fun.
not the flavor. That was not the flavor.
That wasn't spicy.
Also, like the fact that you called the exact
Yeah.
play. We have a 5/5 in play. Max is looking to draw a card, and he says no.
He says, "Show me the hand."
He says, "No, I am not going to be a 5/5 here." Okay, we had him. All right. I can't see what Max had in his hand, but
yeah. So that
again, all in, and it didn't seem to pan out.
I think he would have had a little bit more of a foothold if it was a regular Force of Will and not a Force of Negation, because then he could have had some hope. to draw in and then flashback the.
I'm feeling like 3 mana out of the Reanimator spell is a lot to ask.
It is for sure.
And then that's probably only a spell for that turn, and then I don't know.
Yeah, but that was round 3, guys.
Oh, a Magus, that would have been a card. Would have been interesting to see what that would have done.
Oh, Magus to the Moon.
Yeah.
I mean, Death Shadow only plays dual lands, Watergrave and duals. So.
We have a lot of time in the round, Eugene. Do we want to try and get a backup match?
I'll go and see if I can get somebody going.
All right.
I'm gonna jump this to screen.
If nothing else, maybe we can see the wonderful new format, Dan.
All right, we'll try to find a bonus game for you guys, but see you in a bit.
All right.
All right.
So we are here with a backup match. We have Eugene playing Goblins and Jesse we just saw playing Shadow. Eugene led off. Actually, Jesse led off.
It looked like Eugene won the dice roll.
Yeah, okay.
Eugene played a Noble Hierarch with on his Caverns naming Goblin. Surprise.
Jesse going down the 17 life, draining his life as a resource to get that Shadow into play, but he's going to play a...
Ponder? Brainstorm.
Okay.
Good choice.
Kind of want to see Eugene just combo off here with his food chain.
Yeah, I mean, like, you want to see the Goblin deck do the Goblin thing.
I also feel like there's not going to be a ton of interaction. I know he's got a Fury, but I feel like Eugene just is trying to do his own thing. I wonder if Jesse will be able to disrupt it or put pressure.
Eugene's deck is pretty much hoping to either go to Valiant Town with, like, what's it called? Goblin Ringleader.
Right.
And just drop like 4 goblins. But that's not going to happen next turn because Noble Hierarch's gone.
And we see Jesse go into a quick 13 trying to power out that Shadow.
Yeah, it looks like it might be Shadow time any second now. It's going to be Shadow time next turn. And yep, Shadow's doing the Shadow thing.
Oh, I forgot about Muxus. That's right.
This is not looking good. That Fury's dead. I wouldn't be surprised if he just took the munitions expert.
Yeah, I mean, he's a ways away from getting a Muxus.
Muxus is not happening. He's going to make Death Shadow bigger than Fury can handle, so it's like... I think he's open to invitation for the Pitchcast Fury. It's a rough spot, but it doesn't look like Jesse has the Death Shadow in hand, so he might have to search a bit for it, and I didn't see a fetch in his hand either. So.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, and a Wasteland?
Well,
interesting.
I'm curious if he still has the Dothy Voidwalker in, if that's a main board. I think it is, and then
yeah,
I mean that
it's a one of.
Ammunition experts would kill it.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay, so Days happens, and
did we have a Wasteland on the Cavern?
Yeah, he wasted his Cavern. Okay. It makes sense. Ponder looking for the Death Shadow. Probably gonna see a shuffle unless he finds that Death Shadow.
I mean, at this point, he could be building to a Murktide as well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, he chooses not to shuffle.
What he had.
It looked like he drew a Force,
which is a bunch of blue cards.
Which is pretty interesting because I don't think he necessarily needs a Force.
Well, with no Cavern, he knows about the Fury and the Muxus. He could keep it to deal with those. Okay.
Oh, him. Interesting. The hand disruption goes a long ways. Like non-blue decks have a hard time dealing, especially combo variety.
Yeah.
Have a hard time dealing with a him.
Oh boy. Is that a War Chief?
Yeah.
A War Chief.
The War Chief is probably the biggest blow.
Right. I mean, so he still has.
The munitions expert. Oh no, the munitions expert's gone. He's got Fury with a pitch cast.
He's a ways away from being able to hard cast Fury.
He's drawing lands though. That's good news. Hey,
Ooh,
food chain. Oh wow, he just lets it go. He does. Oh yeah, he's got a Force in hand, and it might be 2 Forces. Can't really tell.
One
Brainstorm,
right?
Oh,
okay.
That is a Murktide. Yeah, I wouldn't care about the food chain either if I had a Murktide for 8.
Oh my gosh, it is a full retail 8/8 Murktide.
Yeah, you can't get that at Macy's anymore. That's for sure. I don't even know if that makes sense or not.
Eric, take notes. Okay, all right. Eugene is trying to do his best to keep up with his Murktide. By casting. All right.
Oh,
so,
Lackey.
Yeah, Lackey does work, right? So if he decides to attack here, but then he gets
I'm surprised
Lackey,
he let the Lackey resolve because he's not going to keep that Murktide on defense.
He might have. I can't see his hand. It looks mostly blue.
Yeah, doesn't look like there's a Death Shadow in there just quite yet.
Okay, so that is a Brainstorm.
Looks like an island out of one of the draws, and not quite too sure what the other cards are. Maybe Polluted Deltas. I couldn't get a great look.
I think he still has fetch line.
Yeah, Polluted Delta.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's just digging for the shadows, but it doesn't look like he's gonna need to, because even if.
Well, he's getting low, so if this Lackey connects.
Yeah.
He can put something into play. We know he's got the Fury still, so if he draws a land, he can play the Fury.
Well, best case scenario is he draws Muxus off the top, swings in with Lackey.
Yeah.
There's no snuff out, and he just puts in Muxus. Muxus gets like everything and a ringleader.
Okay, well.
Yep. It's
another way to play the game.
It doesn't look like it's good news for Eugene over here. There is...
Grows the first Murktide to be a 10-10? 8?
I don't think there's any
9-9,
outs
okay.
Eugene has anymore.
He has to combo off. Can he combo off? No, he cannot.
No, he can't.
He said that was enough.
Death Shadow is a tough matchup. And even being on the draw, it's just like... That was just...
So Death Shadow definitely has ways to deal with this deck sideboard. I'm very curious, what a Goblin's trying to do sideboard to deal with Death Shadow?
He's got the Thorns. That could be it. But the Pyro full play set of Pyroblast coming in. He's considering the Ley Line. That's not looking like it. Pyrokinesis is not good. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings in some of the Thorns.
Yeah.
I don't know if the full play set's necessarily correct, but you're running so many creatures that the Thorn doesn't necessarily affect you.
Right.
But he does have to worry about days. Opponent's definitely bringing in Hydroblasts.
Is Fury just not good enough in this matchup?
I don't think so. Fury.
Yeah.
The problem is Fury is quite literally a liability because in Jesse's specific build, he plays Reanimate. There's a 50-50 chance of when you're going against a Death Shadow player, they're playing Reanimate. And the problem is with Fury, if you are in a winning position and there's a Fury in your graveyard and your opponent top decks Reanimate, you lose as a creature deck.
It's funny, one of the jokes we made while you guys were sideboarding is in Game 2, who reanimates first between you and Jesse?
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Well, hopefully the Reanimator deck. that's the hope. But, sometimes it's just a fun little time. It's just a fun little time. You mulligan to 4. You look at your hand and say, it's a loss.
It is so true. I mean, I've only played against a handful of times, but it's like they go in on turn 1 or 2, and if you can keep them from going in, you have a good chance of winning the game.
Yeah. Reanimator's interesting. I'm mainly just playing it just because I have the cards and have been interested. But Painter is where my heart is. That's a fun deck for the whole family.
Good old wholesome deck.
Yeah, good old.
Everybody gets the same color, and then I'll mill your deck.
Yeah, mill yourself now.
No damage dealt. No damage. Just mill.
Don't need that. Don't need that.
It's a PG deck.
Yeah, good stuff. Now,
all right, let's see if our players are getting ready to...
I wouldn't be surprised if Eugene just keeps a 7 just to keep a 7 because when you're playing against a Thoughtseize Him deck, card quality unfortunately doesn't matter that much, and you could probably just keep a hand with like 6 lands and a creature, and it would be good enough. Because
and honestly, that might be better because if you're losing resources, you're losing lands, which you don't need.
I mean,
as much as creatures.
hopefully you just get 7 lands because that way the Thoughtseize is just blank,
True.
and your opponent just discards a card. Pro strats over here.
Or you get, like land, noble, and then you're just like, okay, I'm gonna get a land or noble, and I'm ramping.
It's just you're just keeping 7, just trying to keep as many cards in your hand.
The hard part about playing as a shadow deck though is like they thought you turn 1, great, but then they have the days backup for whatever you try and play next.
Yeah, well, he also is the Cavern deck, so
that's true.
So the goblins can come in uncounterable, but then from Jesse's point of view, he's looking for wastelands. He's looking for snuff outs. He's looking for just very disruptive elements. Thoughtseize is going to be good. Him to Turok's going to be good, and then the rest of the game plan doesn't really matter because it'll get there with the Ponder Brainstorm.
I'm curious with some of the spoilers, some of the Lord of the Rings set, that new creature that makes legendaries uncounterable.
Yeah. Is it uncounterable
yes,
too? It's a bird of paradise that makes legendaries uncounterable.
Yes,
and it's a 1/2. Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable Magic the Gathering card for Legacy.
It's on par for power level.
It seems like it might be played.
Ben's gonna love that in his Maverick deck, probably.
Well, there's a Cavern, so and once again, it's 7 cards in hand, so I think Eugene's gonna take it, and it looks like he is.
All right, so Jesse's gonna look
go
for
for
what?
6.
I mean, a Thoughtseize or Him to Turok, and maybe some counters.
Maybe Fast Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I'm not even necessarily sure if you want to go on the Shadow plan because Eugene's deck is literally just made out of creatures.
True, that's very true.
So, like, chump blocking is going to be
Is this a matchup that maybe you board him out?
I don't think you board it out, but because the thing is, it's still a big creature. And the deck's already built around getting shadows. And so I wouldn't necessarily know whether or not you board it out, but I think you still. It's not a huge priority.
Yeah.
Just because your opponent is going to be
him. I think he's going to put back.
Oh, he also has a Shieldred's Edict from the looks of it. Yeah, I think you keep the him.
Yeah.
He might have put back a Force, which might have been the right call because, at least with how Eugene's hand is looking,
Right.
he's
Interesting.
if you don't have a Wasteland in hand, putting back the Force might be a pretty reasonable call because if you don't plan on wasting a cavern, then
Yep.
your opponent's looking towards like getting a cavern more likely.
I feel like also in this matchup, if it's early, Dothry Voidwalker could put a lot of pressure on Eugene.
And
much
we're gonna
unblockable.
see Musicians. Oh, a Snoop.
Okay, now this is part of Eugene's combo. So,
But I don't think that Snoop will be alive for very long with the
Snuff
snuff out in
out.
hand.
it is
We
a
will
great
get to see
snuff
the
out target.
We will get some information and see the top card of the deck. Gotta love that.
It's like you don't bolt the what's the 2/2 burn creature? Goblin Guy. You don't bolt it first. You wanna see what
Oh,
it
that
flips.
was an unfortunate card to reveal. I mean, it'll be good, in the
Right,
coming
right.
turns, but you don't want your opponent knowing that you have Pyroblast in your deck. You can only assume after post-board games that a deck that has red probably is boarding in Pyroblast, but still.
Well, we do know that he has the Hymn to Turok, so it's possible that he tries to fire that off to get rid of that Pyroblast.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. The problem is bringing Pyroblast in this matchup. I've had this issue with Painter. Is that the cards that you really don't want resolving tend to be the hymns. Oh, so it looks like he's struggling on lands. There's a Wasteland. I'm not sure what that other card was.
Snuff out. He snuffed out the.
No. The cards he drew off the Brainstorm.
Oh.
Tough to tell with the glare.
Well, if you drew a Wasteland, that's helpful in this case.
Yeah, because he wants to turn off that cavern.
Right.
Oh, but he says no Wasteland for me, please.
Well, he's drawing.
Oh, gotcha. He did that on end step. Ooh, Thoughtseize.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Food chain.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you're keeping sevens.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. It's old keep a 7. Don't care what happens.
Eugene is happy to fire that off, assuming that it will resolve.
This Wasteland's looking worse and worse now that
Well, if he wastelands this turn, that keeps him off for a turn of the food chain.
Yeah, but I don't think Jesse even cares necessarily about the food chain at this current moment.
Yeah, he has no other action, so
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
He does waste on the cavern.
Oh, yeah, he wasting the cavern. Smart play. I think that's generally correct to do.
Okay, we knew about the Pyroblast. Just land.
Oh, he's just slamming it out there.
Can I have it?
I think he's going to let him have it. Because the thing is, he has a second food chain in hand. That second food chain is going to be dead. If he forces, yep, he just lets him have it.
Okay.
I think that's a correct play. Shocking. 9, Dust Shadow time. Oh, and he's hemming.
Okay.
Trying to get that Power Blast out of his hand, more than likely.
Oh man, if he hits a Pyroblast and a food chain, Eugene's up with just land.
Yep,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
the ones.
Oh, Eugene just a land.
I honestly think I would prefer keeping the lands at this point because...
Oh, you can cast spells.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Because right now the second food chain is probably a good hit because...
Okay, what do we got here? Lord.
Oh, it's a matron.
Okay, so you can search up something. Now, do you let this resolve and then counter the next thing, or do you just counter this right away?
I think you just counter this right away. But I'm not sure if he has... Oh, it looks like he does have a Force and Will in
He
hand.
definitely has a ponder that he could pitch if you wanted to.
Yeah, so there's...
Yeah,
Yep, you just
okay.
counter it right away.
It's like against Reanimator. Do you counter the Entomb or the Reanimate
You always
spell?
counter the Entomb. It's an enabler. And there's also less enablers than reanimation spells, so it's generally... it also depends on deck to deck, whether or not you counter the enabler or the payoff. But Jesse's not liking what he's seeing on the
Well,
the
he's
top
at
three
how
cards.
many draw steps, and he has not drawn a threat, and he has a card in hand? Yeah, he's really digging for
Yeah.
something.
He's looking for Shadow.
Okay,
And
yeah,
he
that was
doesn't
not
get it. What is that card?
We don't
Another
know.
hymn? Oh yeah, it's another hymn.
Okay.
Oh, and he drew days.
Okay.
Yep.
So, oh no, he had the Kiki.
Yeah, well, he didn't have the lands to cast it. Oh,
Okay,
Snoop!
okay.
Hey!
Well.
Oh, Slang Gang. and that'll be good next turn. And he'll be able to pay for the days with the food chain, if he really wants to. Might be worth it to him. And, rough. Eugene's really hurting on his life total. And I guess he would just have to go for it. Ooh, and Jesse's getting really low. If he doesn't draw a Death Shadow soon, I wouldn't be shocking.
Is he fetching and shocking?
I wouldn't be shocking this aggressively, personally.
I mean, at this point...
Because he's got the days in hand.
Yeah, Eugene has haste creatures. He could open himself up to just an attack to get him too low.
Yeah. Who knows? He might also be packing lightning bolts, too. So.
That's true. That's true.
Shocking seems pretty aggressive.
Okay.
Oh, well, there's a shadow, so
Right.
who cares what we say?
Yep, he's got 9/9 shadow. And Eugene
that was
draws...
a mountain?
Yes, a mountain. So he can't cast the Siege Gang. He's just...
Yeah, he's just stuck on lands. Doesn't have the right mana.
This could be a 2-turn attack for Jesse here.
He needs the
closing
bad
it out.
lands. Well, the good news is he'll be able to play around days.
Yeah.
Bad news is he's got one turn
Okay,
to figure
so
it out.
what can we draw to get out of this? Something that creates some tokens.
Badlands.
That
That is
is
a wasteland? Oh, no. That's a sling. Ringleader.
Okay.
And playing around days.
He will happily reveal some cards and hope he gets some goblins.
That'll be really good because, hey, that food chain just eats up that ringleader and you can get some more gobos on the field.
Okay. you can
Happily pay
the
for it.
days.
Happily pay for it.
Oh,
The
a
second
second day.
days.
Eugene's reaction says it.
I mean,
oh my
yeah,
gosh.
that'll get anyone tilting out of your chair.
Not a card I expected to see coming into play this late in the game, but a double days. Wow. And that, okay.
Oh,
so,
he would have been able to ringlead again.
Yeah.
With off the food chain, and yeah, that's a rough one. Not a good matchup for poor old goblins.
Definitely. The hand disruption part of Shadow does
Yeah.
a lot to go in these games.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to have round 4. We'll see if we can get a match. Usually our players tend to draw it out in round 4. We'll see if we can get a match for you on camera, though.
Who's greedy? Let's see him.
Who doesn't want to draw? Who wants the cutthroat?
Ooh, I want the money.
All right, we'll see you back for our next round.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. We're on the "We'll be back shortly" screen.
Yes, we are back.
But we are back. There we go. We have Max returning with Death Shadow, and then Andrew playing Crashing Footfalls Cascade, or Rhinos, which is a pretty sweet deck. I think it's the most popular deck in Modern, or like one of the top 3. No, I think Creativity is more popular, but anyways.
At this point, yeah, anything that plays Omnath definitely going to be played Modern.
100%, yeah.
Speaking of which, come on down to Spellhold on Friday for a Modern F&M.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, normally it's Pioneer. We got Modern going on. Good stuff. But actually, I think Rhinos actually has been showing up here and there. I think it won a weekend challenge on Magic Online recently in Legacy. So it's proven to be pretty respectable. But it's basically just a bunch of kind of weird, not 1-drop, not 2-drop, 1-drops and 2-drops, if that makes sense.
Now, I'm curious in this specific matchup if Andrew could potentially go wide, take advantage of Max using his life as a resource to get low, and then resolve a Crushing Footfalls, or just have other creatures in play to kind of deal the final damage. But I feel like Max is going to have every single creature as a target for a snuff out, so...
Yeah, that's true. Although it does look a little sad when you're snuffing out a Rhino, because it always comes with a buddy.
It sure does.
Unfortunately, but the trample is also a pretty big deal, because when you're dealing with Baleful Strix with Death Touch, you're still taking 3 damage.
Is that a Fire and Ice in Andrew's hand?
Yeah, so it plays Fire and Ice. I know it plays Petty Theft / Brazen Borrower. It might play Dead Gone. I'm not sure if the Legacy version does.
Does anyone want to let him see his hand? Oh, he says fine.
Nothing
worth keeping secret here.
Endurance, Shardless Agent, Force, Brazen Borrower, Fire Ice, and a couple... Oh, and a Beseiju.
So I guess he values his cards here versus just pitching the Force to protect his information. Yeah,
for sure. So in this case, most of his cards are like pretty good. Obviously, he wants to Cascade. In fact, that's what's going to get taken by the Thoughtseize, but he might feel a little bit better about protecting his future Rhinos with that Force. Just chipping in with the bird.
We see the battle of the 1/1 Death Touches beginning.
Unfortunately, Rhinos can't play any of those guys.
They can play Quaddle if they wanted to, but I don't think you'll find any basic lands in this deck list.
Yeah, for
sure. Oh,
sure.
I lied. I see a Plains. Not a Plains. Something?
Basic
Okay,
Forest,
all right. So he could be playing some Quaddles. I don't think he is, though.
Well, no, because the Cascade would hit the Quaddle instead of the Rhino.
Yeah. That's why you hear Eric point out the obvious. Okay, Fire and Ice is going to get dazed. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so saving the bird.
Right, they would have taken care of the bird, but... Oh, and we are stripping resources all over the place. I mean, Max has successfully taken out 4 of Andrew's cards.
Yeah, it's all been 1-for-1s or whatever.
We are suspending Footfall.
Oh, you don't get to see that too often.
That is a way through this. I mean, by the time it comes off to suspend, Max's life might be low enough that it matters, right?
That's true. He's definitely doing enough damage to himself.
And this is a route that I thought Andrew could take, assuming that Max doesn't resolve too many creatures. We know he's got the Dothry Voidwalker. He can get the Death Shadow, namesake of the deck. Or he can also get Murktide. A Murktide would really be really tough for Andrew because he would not be able to properly get through that at all.
Yeah, he's got ways around. He could tap it with Ice. He could bounce it with Brazen Borrower. The same applies to Death Shadow, but in general, if Max gets probably 2 threats out, it's probably going to overwhelm Andrew's options, and he won't be able to get through with the Rhinos.
Okay, we see him. That's going to deplete some resources. Andrew says, which ones do you want? He's just getting rid of 2. Interesting.
Yeah, he said, I will decide.
Important to note that these players have already split pricing. They are just playing for our camera here.
I mean, that was forced.
Well, that was a force
He forced it.
with pitching Brazen Borrower, of course.
Yeah. Andrew said, I'll get rid of these 2 cards.
Yeah.
Go to him. He gets our 2 cards regardless.
Oh, imagine if it got countered back though. Oh, he'd be real sad.
He would be handless. All right. Are we gonna trade here with an endurance?
That would be a bold play, I will say.
And I see Andrew is playing mismatched forests, or is that an island? I think it's a forest.
Yeah, that's.
Actually, I can't tell. I don't know.
I genuinely can't tell. No, I think that's an island. That's an island.
Okay,
I remember because
alright.
I played against him and I thought it was a forest.
I will allow it then.
Not
Is-
a. Like,
his suspend is gonna come off in 2 turns. He'll get some 4/4s. Oh, we see a snuff out drawn. As you mentioned, snuff out not really wanting to target the token, but a shadow, a 1/1 shadow. It's gonna become bigger because of that snuff out.
two 1/1s. Huge.
Will this be game?
It's pretty close, man.
Okay. Ooh.
There's the turtle. What is
the turtle?
What is he channeling for bounce? Or I'm not sure. I don't know what the 3-mana mode is.
Okay. He's trying to get some free 4/4s is what he's trying to do.
True.
Okay.
Oh, he might have 4 rhinos coming.
What would you call this?
The
Teamer
Crashcade or just Teamer Rhinos.
I like that. Teamer Crashcade.
That's like the hip name, you know?
You are hip here at Spellhold. I like the tokens here. They are I don't play Pokemon.
Are those
I don't know what
Raichus? I'm not
sure. You could say whatever Pokemon you wanted, and I would say yes.
Oh, they're Rhydons. That's
Rhydon. Makes
yeah,
sense. It makes sense. It seems like a rhino.
Sorry, guys, I haven't played Pokemon since Yellow.
Yellow.
No, I played Ruby.
That is more recent than I. Okay, so Snuff Out's gonna do something? Maybe? I lied. Does he not have a Snuff Out? Does he just have shadows?
He just has infinite shadows.
Okay,
apparently.
so now we're gonna have 4/4 tokens with trample. This is a big problem for Max.
So this is really funny because Trample and Death Shadow is a headache, we'll say.
Okay, yeah. Explain the rules to us here. What's happening?
So
we're
if
not
you-
getting 2. He's countering the Cascade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, if
Suspend.
you attack with the Rhino, the Shadow blocks as a 1/1. You take 3 damage. The Shadow becomes a 4/4.
And then deals damage to the Rhino.
No, so it only deals 1 damage to the Rhino, but then its power toughness increases. Well, so in this case, actually, it would become a 5/5 and survive.
So it would only deal 1 damage, but it would not take lethal damage from the Rhino.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and we see Andrew casting a Uro. Okay. So it's a way to kind of keep up with this deck, gain some life, gain some cards. But what is Andrew going to be able to do at this point? He, like we mentioned, he can't attack because of the interaction. He wouldn't lose his tokens, but he wouldn't really be benefiting.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, he could Stonewall for a while. Hopefully, make some more Rhinos. But it's.
I mean, you mentioned Fire and Ice as a way to tap down a creature, possibly.
He could kill a Death Shadow with a Fire Ice at this point, as well. So coming in with.
Okay.
Coming in for 6 damage, he might. Oh, maybe that last card is a Snuff Out. Actually, that could be a pretty big blow.
That would make these. He'd go to 7. They would all be 4/4s.
They would all be 6/6s.
Nobody's running that turtle.
Yeah, the turtle's not very popular.
Clearly, that's a card he needs to mark down under Spice that he's running, and
True.
he failed to do that.
I can't remember the name of it either.
Again,
It's like,
Eugene, can you go issue our players a warning for not indicating the Spice?
I think it's something Sky Turtle. That's all I
Okay,
remember.
we see Snuff Out that is targeting.
A
yeah,
Rhino that
okay.
was blocking. So.
Okay, so you're right. They are 3/6/6s. Is this? we had to have gone to blocks, and this is what's
Yeah.
happening.
This is post block, so he's gonna completely clean up
Yes, he is.
combat, leave all of his shadows alive, and deal 6 damage. So I'm gonna say this is probably Max's game here.
It does. I mean, based off of the sequencing in this game, I don't think Andrew really ever had a spot that he was going to be able to pull ahead. I mean, once Max put down the Death Shadows.
Yeah, 3 Death Shadows is real rough, especially because of that funny combat math thing I
Hey,
mentioned.
you know what's worse than 3 Death Shadows? 3 Dreadnoughts
That's true.
on turn 2.
Here's your turtle.
Oh, Colossal Sky Turtle. Okay, so the 3 mana is a regrowth effect. Okay, so that's what he did. He got a card back from the graveyard.
Yeah, I played Max a couple weeks ago, and he turn 2, end step, played a dress down, then untapped, played 3 Dreadnoughts.
That's rough.
Yeah, that was not a game I won.
I don't think you're winning many of those.
No.
That's rough, buddy.
It was funny.
You ever dealt with 39 power?
No, I didn't give him the chance. I scooped.
Oh man.
Well, we laughed because he played 1, and he's like, "Does it resolve?" And I said, "Yes." And then he said, "Okay, how about the second one?" And I thought, "Well, okay, yeah, sure." And then he said, "How about this third one?" And I was like, "Well, let's go to game 2."
Okay, so he only had 2. He only had 2 in play, huh?
I mean, he had it in his hand. Can I have it?
Yeah.
Yes, you can have the game. So jump to game 2.
Oh man.
Play a land. Plays a wasteland. Play a second land. Plays a second wasteland.
Ooh.
Play a third land. Third wasteland. Fourth land. Fourth wasteland.
You
yeah.
hate to see it.
Yeah. We both just laughed because he top decked the wastelands, and what do you do?
you just play him and you keep going.
I did play lands and spells after that, but I clearly was so far behind I didn't win the game.
I mean, that's a lot of psychic damage. You must have been at 1 life psychically, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think after I got dreadnoughted, I was already just thinking of how else I could lose these games.
Yeah. Oh.
I think I was just hoping to draw and escape an Uro, and that never happened.
You hate to see it. Man, Max's deck box is so fancy. I love that thing.
All right, so thinking about our players, I don't know if Max really wants to change his deck too much. What does Andrew do? He clearly needs to make some changes because game 1 did not go his way.
Yeah, there's probably more.
I mean, what can he do? Removal? He doesn't have removal on the deck, right? It's not really one of the colors.
Yeah, I mean, he's got bounce and he's got small burn spells. There might be larger burn spells that he could go into.
Right.
Another kind of funny thing is he sideboards that bribery spell that you cascade into.
Okay.
Which would be not probably something you want to do here, but you could grab a shadow if you're in a tight spot, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, just larger burn spells. That's all I can really think of.
So I think he needs to find ways to power out some rhinos and hope that Max does not play 3 Death Shadows.
Oh, you know what he brings in here is Blood Moon.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I think he's gonna Blood Moon this game.
Does he have Magus as well, you think, or just Blood Moon?
I think he just has. I'm pretty sure he just has Magus, and the. I'm sorry, he just has Blood Moon.
Okay.
Not Magus, and the. He I know for sure that Andrew plays those Simian Spirit Guides as well, so he could potentially turn 1 or turn 2 it, which would shut down Shadow pretty hard. You can't even snuff out with a Blood Moon.
Oh, right, because you have no swamps.
You don't have a swamp, yeah. And as far as I know, Shadow is a 0 basics deck, so not much room to play around.
I'm curious if they don't even run like an island or a swamp, like for the snuff out.
No, it's such a because controlling your life total is so important. They're really fetch heavy, and I think in general they're playing 4 Watery Graves and like 1 maybe 2 Underground Seas, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's like those, and then Wasteland, and then they stop at like 15 or 16 lands is usually how it goes. At least from the Shadow list that I'm familiar with. But I suppose we'll see. Andrew on the play here. Our heroic Rhino Enjoyer.
Definitely important in this matchup to be on the play, trying to get I mean, as soon as a turn 3, possibly turn 2 with the Simian Spirit Guide, get that Charlotte's Agent off and get those rhinos going. Although, I mean, that plays into Max's strategy a little bit, so you can't overcommit. But if he stumbles and you get him low enough, I mean, he has no way to regain life, so...
Absolutely, and those rhinos really do hit hard, especially off of a Shardless Agent. That's 10 power off of one card. It's a surprise for it's a pretty good 3-mana investment.
And if you pair that with the Fire and Ice being able to tap down or destroy creatures, depending on, or I mean, lethal damage to creatures, if they're small enough.
Absolutely. No turn 1 Blood Moon.
Oh, no Thoughtseize, but I see a Daze at least, so something might get countered. Okay, alright. Similar turn 1, turn 2 for Andrew as it was last time. And Max is happy to pass, or maybe he wants to play a Baleful Strix. Nope, he definitely wants to play something. Neither one of our players afraid of Stifle. Just fetching right into it.
Stifle out of the Rhinos board would be a real power move. I would respect that immensely. Oh, man. That would be insanity. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there's a basic
island.
I wonder if that's out of the board. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
That would be interesting.
Because I mean, look, this shady character over here hasn't cracked his fetches yet. Those could be getting basics to prep for the Blood Moon, you know.
Oh, you're right. That's
Yeah.
Yep.
Here we go. That's the Island Forest. That's the Island Forest Mountain.
I think we established that was an island.
I think
allegedly.
that's an island.
Allegedly. We will confirm that later off stream.
Yeah.
Okay, and a mountain. So telegraphing maybe a Blood Moon effect. Now I know that I saw at least a Daze in Max's hands. That means that oh no, we're just gonna fire an ice right away.
Oh, this is on Max's end step.
Right, but I don't even, did I see a Blood Moon effect?
I'm not sure I see one in the hand.
Maybe.
Oh, you know what? It's the shiny one. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's not actually the red one.
It's one of the later ones. Okay, and does it resolve? Not yet. Okay, and is Andrew prepared to fight over this? He is not. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought he might have had a force or something.
Yeah.
Maybe he was prepared for days. Maybe he has a spirit guide in there somewhere.
Yeah. Also, if he has a Shardless, would he value a Shardless over the Blood Moon? I would have to say no, but I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I think Blood Moon would be a bit more impactful for sure. Although with Max having a basic island out, maybe not. It's hard to say.
I saw Beseiju. Is Beseiju relevant to just because we see the one island? Do you think there's another basic land hanging out somewhere?
Oh well, the Beseiju lets you grab anything with a basic type, so you can get a duel. Ooh, counterbalance. Okay, so a land will counter rhinos. That's in the sideboard, I think, for Delver decks, but it's actually really good here.
Switch printing of this thing.
Oh, but that printing looks so sick, though. Was that the horror movie? The horror movie poster one? Yeah. So cool. Yeah.
It's unreadable though.
Same CMC as the revealed cards, and lands are 0, so that counters rhinos just straight up if you happen to have a land on top.
Right, let's walk through that iteration. So you flip a card. Is there trying to go through the workings. Can you brainstorm a response to flip a second card?
You can, yeah. He just blind flipped a Brazen Borrower to counter the Endurance.
Wow.
Yeah, so counterbalance trigger on the stack. You could cast a Brainstorm and stack your deck.
Okay, now he could channel the Beseiju for this counterbalance though, which you just did. Yeah,
which he's gonna do.
Now we'll see if that resolves.
And I don't think Max is playing. He's not a Stifle enjoyer. He's not like other Andrew. Shoving Stifle into every nook and cranny it could fit into. But that would be a good use case for it, most certainly. You could also counter the.
All right.
You could also counter the Cascade trigger.
Our hero has fought through the counter spells to earn himself 2 rhinos.
He's got him.
Max is still at 12 life though, so is that I think I see at least one snuff out of Max's hand.
2 ride-ons.
And a Brazen Borrower pretty easily take care of one of those rhinos.
Oh, snuff out Borrower. Yeah, that's both rhinos gone.
No, not like this. Okay, all right. Andrew says fine. And oh no.
No.
All right. Max is being
And
a bully.
that's just 6 power chilling out on the side of the table there waiting.
All right, now I don't. Did I maybe see? Yeah. Okay, there's one death shot of Max's hand, so he eventually will get to the point where he can start applying some pressure.
Oh, man. Him to Turok. Oh, jeez, I can't watch. Oh, no. my boy. Look how they massacred my boy.
Okay, so he's got to deal with the 1/1. Can he have 2 lands in hand? That's not gonna do it. What's in the graveyard there? That's gonna. Okay, we'll play the land just because.
Hardcast forest territory.
True, gotta respect the hardcast forest, but we're gonna find out right now that it's a land.
It's
lied.
an Odawara.
Yeah, okay, well, it's a land spell.
Land spells.
Yeah, it'll. Can you target your own stuff with Odawara?
You can. You can target your own
Okay, so
stuff.
he could
with Odawara.
bounce. Nope, he blocked. Okay.
He might have.
Because could he have blocked, bounced?
Yeah, he could have block bounced his own guy and then recascaded.
Right. Interesting that he didn't see that line, and I think he's just scooped. I think
Yeah,
so,
that's a scooperino. I mean, to be fair, I think Dress Down would have stopped that anyways. But
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
But hey, that was Tuesday Night Legacy, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We got a full five matches in there. Good times.
Yeah. Join us every Tuesday, 7:30 on the Tuesday Night Legacy YouTube channel, and hope to see you back.
Every first and third Tuesday.
First and third
First
Tuesday.
and third Tuesday.
Check the YouTube channel on those other Tuesdays for videos, though.
Yeah. Subscribe. Put on all those bells for all those activations.
Like,
of all the
comment,
things.
subscribe. Put it in the second browser tab at 3x speed, and just leave it running on loop.
Right.
It's great for It's great for the algorithm.
Tell your friends. Make a couple accounts. Right.
Yeah. Do all the things.
And come out Friday for F&M, modern F&M.
Yes, indeed.
Or Wednesday for Pauper, or Thursday for Pioneer.
All of those things.
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, Casual Commander. Not so casual.
All right. Peace out, guys.